everybody but us. Excuse my language, mama and dad, grandmama, but care about it but us.
What are we doing to separate ourselves so that we take the next step as a team?
Now, after that sack, Josh has set the franchise career record for sacks. Congratulations to Josh Hines Allen.
I can't really sit up here and say that, what our season's going to look like next year, but I can say that we got a team full of guys that's committed to each other. Obviously, this team's going to be a little different. You heard what Coach just said. It's a business at the end of the day. Some people are going to be here, some people are not. But the guys that step on this field, leading to OTAs, to training camp, to the first game of the season, to the last, those are guys we're going to ride with, and those opportunities we're going to try to develop and win.
We're trading up in the draft. We're moving from pick 5 to pick 2, and we're doing it because you're the one we've been hunting up.
Yes, sir. That's the best decision.
That ball's caught by Travis Hunter. He's into the end zone. Touchdown.
To be able to put it all together this spring, I think it'll be fun.
Fires middle of the field. That was caught. 35, 30, 25, 20. Brian Thomas Jr. He hung on to that one. Fires middle of the field. That ball is going to be caught for the touchdown. Jacoby Myers. Oh, the left sideline. 50, 45, 30, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown. Touchdown. Touchdown.
We're going to bring you a product that you all can be proud of. And we are so appreciative of your support. With that, game on.
Now, Jaguars Today on 1010XL with Mike Dempsey, Fat Tony, and RJ Saunders.
All right, welcome in, everybody, and happy Monday. We're back in our regular digs here as, Tony, we don't get to do the show outside in a nice tent with a breezy breeze blowing and the beautiful scenes of the Players' Championship happening for another
Not
51
today.
weeks.
No, yeah.
The hell? Come on, 1010. Stuck in here looking at RJ. RJ, did you miss us last week?
Absolutely.
You did.
Right. But, I mean, we've only just started. We've only just begun. And then you guys leave.
Yeah, I know. We left you hanging.
I was like that dog howling at the door, like when its owner leaves,
That's
waiting
sad.
for it to, get back from work. And
So sad.
just howling.
We abandoned RJ a few states over. He found his way back. It's amazing, that homing system that he's got. But here he is once again, ladies and gentlemen. All right. We all three between us have a collective zero knowledge to be dangerous for the NCAA tournament bracket. Is that correct?
That's generally correct.
I will say this, and I feel justified in saying this. The only, honestly, didn't watch the bracket selection show. I wanted to see one thing. Was I root for one team? That's St. John's.
Yep.
And they get a 5 seed. And, I mean, I'm not the only one who thinks that is the most absurd freaking thing that I've heard in a while when it comes to the NCAA tournament. But there's always somebody getting screwed. We're just my team this year, getting the 5 seed. The 5 seed. Are you kidding me? Basically almost sweep the Big East, take the regular season and the postseason crown, beat UConn twice. They got a 2. Somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not happy about that. Happy that Cam Young won the Players. Out of the options coming down the stretch over the last 4 to 6 holes yesterday, Tony, I'm sorry, I root for the Americans. There's all kinds of, you can feel how you like about the chance of USA. I'm not a fan of booing the other guy. He didn't do anything wrong, but
no.
So be it. It's not your father's golf atmosphere anymore. In a lot of ways, it's just not, and we can all bemoan that. This is not the show to do that on. We talk Jaguar football, but just wanted to note a lot of the things that went down over the course of the weekend. I'm going to say this because I want to be able to exclude our coworkers from this characterization.
Oh.
Okay. I know a number of our coworkers have had their social media accounts hacked, right? Some have gotten them back. Others maybe not have, right? I'm 57 years old, Tony. I feel like I'm internet savvy enough, right? I know enough to, if somebody sends me a weird email, I know enough not to click the link in it, something like that, right? So I don't know what the age cutoff for that is, because I didn't grow up with the internet, but I used it for a large portion of my life. So it's not that complicated, right? And I just got to say, let's just say starting today, anything that's happened in the past, you can be exempt. If you are clicking a link in someone's DM because they said, please vote for me for anything, and then insert your personal information, including your password, you're just an idiot. I'm sorry. You're an idiot, and you deserve to get hacked, and probably your bank account's empty. That's probably what you deserve, okay? I'm not doing it. I'm not the criminal. I'm just saying, it's 2026, Tone.
Yeah, this has been common sense since a phone got put in someone's house.
This is like decades. You don't give out your information like that to anybody. Oh, yeah, sure, some random. Oh, but it came from an account. Like, that's my point now. Like, starting today, like, there have been enough instances of this that if you're still getting caught, that's on you. All right? Come up with a tougher password or something. I can't imagine having a password that's guessable anyway. Like, I don't understand it.
Like I told you, I made up a word.
There is a word in my password. I changed it again this weekend. I've been changing it a lot because I'm not going to call everyone an idiot who gets hacked and then get hacked. That's a good incentive for me to keep updating my password. So not to say
I made up a word
that they couldn't get me, but
I put in symbols inside the password, and I rotate capitals and all that,
right?
Yeah.
So if somebody guesses my password, I'd be like, "Damn, man, that's impressive." Because
tip of the cap,
but it's not going to be because I am giving it to you.
No,
because you DM me to vote for you in some stupid thing, and like it'd be someone random from your that you follow on Twitter that you haven't heard from in 6 years, and you're like, "Oh, they're sending me a direct message for the first time ever, asking for my personal information." So. Just hard to believe that people are still falling for it. I saw, half my Twitter is Jaguar stuff, half fantasy football stuff in terms of like who I follow and, what people are following me, and a young guy. Young people should know better than anybody. You grew up in it, people. Come on. We're not in the horse and buggy days anymore. You grew up with the national or the internet anyway. Young fantasy football guy got it this weekend. Oh, poor Hutch. No, not poor Hutch. Idiot Hutch.
Yeah.
Don't be an idiot. Don't give out your password. All right? It's that simple. They got it.
Password. Yeah.
They got it. Right. I mean, and that's how he got it. That's how he got taken. Because he, you're not aware of this? Especially that generation, they're terminally online. They're online 24 hours a day. I'm online way too much. I am. I've become a phone scrolling fool. And I it's probably not the greatest thing in the world, but it does pass the time. So anyhow, all right, rant over, Tony. I had a lot of stuff pent up. It was a very exciting sports weekend with the World Baseball Classic and the players.
Was so much fun.
Oh my gosh, it was so good. It was fantastic. Knicks beat the Warriors last. I had everything going on yesterday. It was great. But today, our focus for the Jags is twofold. One, it is Mock Draft Monday. So we've all put together, actually threefold. Let's go threefold. Mock Draft Monday. RJ's got his. He says the best mock draft that anyone's ever put together for 3 rounds. That's what he claims. I don't know. I'm very excited. He's built this up quite a bit over the course of the morning. He's looking at me. If there's no camera on you right now, is there, RJ? By the way, are we in the same shot right here? We are. All right. I had to make sure I wasn't reaching into your camera shot right there. Tony and I are in what they call the 2-shot. Or is it? I don't know. Is the 2-shot when they have two people side by side? I don't know. I'm not a TV guy.
It's 1 shot.
It's a 1 shot. It's a 1 shot with 2 people.
With 2 people in it.
There you go. That's right. It's 1 frame, the 2 of us. You can stream us today on YouTube, on Facebook, on X, if you want to watch a show. All right. So Mock Draft Monday. We got our 3-round mocks. I did 2 of them this week. I was antsy. Chris Rodriguez, our only outside the bubble free agent signing, spoke in his introductory presser over the weekend. We'll get to his audio coming up. And also today's question of the day, presented by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. Do tell, who do you think will be the most improved player on the Jags? I personally, you can say anybody you like, okay? But I personally, I almost worded it in a way, I didn't want to make it too convoluted. A player who actually played for the team last year. Well, because I want to, Caleb Ransaw is too obvious. If he does anything, it's a massive improvement over nothing. So I didn't want to go because I don't know how good he was last year. He was like an incomplete grade, right? It's not like I don't give him a 0. He didn't play. It just wasn't there. So he gets no grade. So if you want to say him, that's fine. I was in my head thinking a guy who actually was on the field for them last year. So anybody who's a returning player for the Jags, who do you think will show the most improvement? We'll talk about that throughout the course of the program today. But when we get rolling here, we'll hear from Chris Rodriguez, newest Jacksonville Jaguar by way of free agency, the only outside addition they've made so far. So we'll hear what he has to say about what attracted him to Jacksonville other than the obvious, which is the money that they're going to pay him to come play for the Jags. So if you want to get in today, 641-1010. We'll do it on the Key Buick GMC phone lines or on the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. You can hit us up on the socials at MD_1010XL, at 1010XL Fat Tony, and at R has no J. Yeah, baby. What was your favorite sporting event of the weekend there, RJ Saunders?
I guess by default, it would have to be the Players' Championship because I had to do the updates all afternoon.
Okay,
So
there you go.
Yeah.
So you guys were hanging on to, I heard Tony. I tuned in to one of your updates, Tony. I was in the car going somewhere, and I'm like, who's this guy I've never heard of? And then there he was on Sunday. And I was like, damn, Tony really sounded like he practiced that pronunciation because it rolled out of your mouth flawlessly.
Oh, yeah, with the Canadian.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Canadian guy who's probably like Indian heritage or whatever it is. And
no, I had not seen it anywhere. I was just like, this is
you did a
how
great
it
job.
looks
Honestly,
like
you sold
phonetically
it.
It works.
You sold it, bro. Whether you had it right or not, I thought you did a great job with that. Both of you guys did fantastic. And it's great that we can bring you that coverage, and we enjoyed doing it. So thanks to the players for having us out there. All right, let's focus on your Jacksonville Jaguars now. Moving forward, Mock Draft Monday, so you can hit us up with those mocks anywhere from 3 to 7 rounds. If you want to show us what you have projected for the Jacksonville Jaguars, there are plenty of sites to do a free mock. I've definitely got some new people in this week for the first time, and I doubt any of us went running back in those first 4 selections. So ready to go? Let's hear from a running back. Chris Rodriguez joins the Jags, and he spoke recently. We'll hear from him coming up next. You're listening to Jaguars Today. Mike Dempsey, Tony Smith, and RJ Saunders on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL.
When did you learn the salute? Right over left. Arms locked at the elbow. Chug, chug, chug. Till it burned in our joints and in our hearts.
1010XL, home of the Gators.
This is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, team physician for your Jacksonville Jaguars. At Orthopedic Specialists of Jacksonville, we know not every injury happens on game day. Sometimes it's rolling your ankle, weekend yard work, or just playing catch with your kids. That's why we built a team of fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons, experts in everything from knees and shoulders to spine and sports injuries in hand. Whether you're chasing championships or chasing your dog, we've got you. Learn more at osjax.com. That's osjax.com.
Dreamfinders Homes, Monday.
On Jaguars Today.
When you need a mechanic you can trust, call Sam, Harry, or Joe at AA Automotive on Richard Street. From oil changes to complex engine repairs, AA Automotive promises expert service and honest pricing from a local family biz. AA Automotive on Richard Street.
Jeff Breyer, president of Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring.
And I'm Nikki Sema. My dad started in business when I was just 4 years old, and now we're 35 years and 20,000 satisfied customers in, and literally have a showroom in every neighborhood.
So whether you're looking to revitalize your home with new flooring or need more outdoor living space with a glass or screen enclosure, we've got you covered.
Visit our websites and don't forget to stop by our showrooms during our open house and cookout this Saturday from 10 to 3. Come see affordable luxury, experience the Lifetime difference, and receive additional open house discounts.
Lifetime Enclosures. The boys are back in the kitchen.
Don't start the barbecue without me.
Joe, Matt, and Leon give you plenty to chew on during lunchtime.
Freshly baked bread
from the big #1 Duval Ford Studios.
Thank you for lunch, boys.
Noon to 2 weekdays on 1010XL.
Lola's Burrito and Burger Joint in Riverside, voted best burrito in Jacksonville by Folio Weekly. They serve giant burritos, juicy burgers, cold draft beer, and the perfect margarita. Enjoy happy hour Monday through Friday 2 to 7. And to celebrate the madness, $10 pitchers of Outlaw Light or 10 wings with a domestic pint for just $15. Don't forget to ask about catering. Order today at lolasburritojoint.com.
You want a new fence, but you don't want the hassle. That's why there's Superior Fence and Rail. They're the best in town, offering lightning-fast one-day installations, plus a lifetime labor warranty for total peace of mind. And here's the best part. Book by March 17th, and they'll take down and haul away your old fence for free, up to a $500 value. So get off the fence and call Superior Fence and Rail today.
SuperiorFenceandRail.com. At the First Coast YMCA, there's no place like this place, with programs and experiences that will bring your whole family together. Summer will be here before we know it, and Y Summer Day Camp registration is now open. Visit your local Y to secure your child's spot early for a season full of memories and adventure. Don't delay. Day camps will fill up. There's no place like this place, so visit your local Y to sign up or online at fcymca.org. Search Summer Day Camp.
Catch Gators baseball all season long on 1010XL. Pitched by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors.
The price of gold is soaring, and the price of silver is near record highs. If you've got gold or silver just lying around, Estates Roadshow wants it. Broken chains, old rings, coins, watches, diamonds, vintage jewelry. If it's valuable, they're buying it. No appointment needed, just walk in, get a free appraisal, and walk out with cash. They're also buying pre-1964 silver coins, flatware, sterling silverware stamped 925. They're buying coin collections, gold, silver, foreign, and domestic. Plus, they've been in business over 35 years with thousands of prior happy customers. Licensed, bonded, state-certified scales, highest tech equipment, employees with GIA certifications. The Estates Roadshow is happening 10 to 5 through Friday, close by in St. Augustine at World Golf Renaissance and Palm Coast at the Holiday Inn Express. Call Marshall at 609-781-6559 or go to estatesroadshow.com and follow Estates Roadshow on Facebook to see all upcoming events.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
We've only just begun.
Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars today on 1010XL.
Yes, it's what does they call it? Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Right there, as the music gets sampled, and you have to take it as a positive, especially if you get royalties on it. We don't. By the way, didn't watch the Oscars last night. Kind of forgot it was on. I always talk to my son on Monday, who is a film student, aspiring filmmaker.
Yeah.
And I would get a full rundown today anyway, regardless if I watched it or last night. I think he really liked Sinners a lot, and he really liked One Battle After Another. I watched that twice. That was excellent. I've seen them both. I don't usually watch a ton of movies that are out like that year. I'll eventually catch up to them, but I thought both of those were excellent movies. I told you guys that what was it called? The Singers, which tied for the Oscar for Best Live Action Short Film. You can watch it on Netflix. Takes like less than 20 minutes. Watch that whole thing. It's absolutely phenomenal, I thought. Anyway, I've watched that a couple of times too. Very cool little short film. All right, so away we go. You're not an Oscars guy, I take it, RJ?
No, I forgot it was on.
Yeah, I kind of did too. You know, I'm not a big, I guess, put it this way. I'm a movie guy. I like movies a lot. I don't care that much about the Oscars, whatever, you know. But I saw Sean Penn won. He was fantastic in One Battle After Another. So anyway, among the ones I saw, and the lady who played like the witch or whatever it was in Weapons.
Yeah.
She won Best Supporting Actress. That movie was excellent too.
Yeah, I think I watched Weapons 4 or 5 times.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I really dug Weapons.
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't see them all. Let me see.
Yeah.
Best Picture nominees. Did not see Begonia. I've heard it's excellent. F1 was really good. With Brad Pitt and Damson Idris. Fantastic, I thought. Didn't see Frankenstein.
My son was great.
My son said Hamnet was amazing. Let's see, Marty Supreme saw that. It was fine. Best Picture worthy, and I'm glad it didn't win. The Secret Agent, nope. Sentimental Value, nope. Sinners, yep. And Train Dreams, nope. Didn't hear of about half of them. So
hopefully it wasn't AI. If it wasn't, Michael B. Jordan had an amazing celebration.
A celebration?
Yeah.
I didn't see the celebration. What did he do?
In-N-Out.
What did he do?
Went to In-N-Out.
Oh, went to In-N-Out Burger? Okay.
That's what I would have done.
All right. Well, nothing wrong with that. Did both of his characters go to In-N-Out Burger, though?
Maybe. Don't know.
Because, he
That would've been
played the
great.
brothers in Sinners.
How do you play two people at once?
The tricks of filming.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? I mean, they literally had them both on the screen at the same time.
I'm still trying to figure out how Eddie Murphy played all those characters at the time.
That one I can understand a little bit more. There's a lot of makeup going on, but Michael B. Jordan was excellent. Anyway, there you go. Your Oscars recap. Shall we get to some Chris Rodriguez thoughts as he was introduced and started things off? Just excited to see Liam Cohen now. He was his former offensive coordinator at Kentucky for a year. And in that year, Chris Rodriguez was excellent, over 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, and he's excited to have him as his head coach now.
Yeah, I actually am, and I was just talking to him about it. Being at Kentucky, he was there for 1 year, then he left my last year, and I told him, I had beef with him. But that's my guy, man. I'm excited for him, especially going into his second year. He was Kentucky, then he went to the Rams and back to Kentucky, and now to being a head coach going into his second year, man. Great guy. He deserves it all, man.
He either followed him or he did his homework. Either way, I'm impressed with Chris Rodriguez going down the recent resume of Liam Cohen. Tony, we talk about it a lot. A lot of people say, hey, Rashad White might be a good fit in this backfield. And I get it. You're trying to put the pieces together. Who are guys that were playing for your coach or a key member of his staff at some point in recent history? And when, it goes two ways. Yes, we have familiarity with you, but that may not be good familiarity. You may say, I know what his shortcomings are. I know what his ceiling is. When you do sign a guy like this, especially when you only sign one player from outside the organization, when he is a guy that played for your head coach very recently and had that kind of level of success, I think that's something to get excited about.
Yeah, and then we talked about it a lot when the signing came in and the reasons why we thought they might be signing him specifically, right? When you look at some of the numbers, but obviously Coach Cohen, having worked with him before, certainly had to have some impact on why they wanted to bring him in here and add him to the backfield here in Jacksonville. He was also asked about whether or not he's had the opportunity yet to talk to any of his new teammates since he got signed here in Jacksonville.
I haven't talked to any of them yet, I would say. I played at Kentucky with Josh for 1 year. I haven't texted him yet. And then there's one of the tight ends who actually trains where I train at in Georgia. I forget his name. Britton. Yeah, Britton. So he trains in Georgia where I'm at. And, I've talked to him a few times, out catching whatever we were doing. But other than that, no, I haven't really talked to anybody else.
It's a little odd, honestly. You could think Josh Hans Allen might reach out to him, right? Like, hey, coach, he played with me for a year at Kentucky. Let me get that number and welcome him here to town. It is funny, though. One of those tight ends, one of them, Tony, is it Brenton? I don't know. I get the impression that Chris Rodriguez, if you then said, here are the other names of the tight ends, couldn't tell you who the starter was, and maybe that's just the way it is around the National Football League. I don't really care, man. He sounds like a smart guy. They like what they say, his superpower, that toughness, that always moving forward, that getting, that 4 yards almost every single time. They love that aspect of it. He was asked, does he have another superpower, or at least a secret weapon, is his ability to catch out of the backfield being downplayed right now?
Nah, I wouldn't say it's like a secret weapon. Ask any of my coaches that I've been around, they would tell you, like, I can catch the ball. At Kentucky, we had another running back who was maybe a little better at running routes or had a little more speed. So, they never asked me to actually do it. But, I feel like I can run routes. Might not be as clean as some of the other guys, but I definitely can run routes and catch the ball.
Well, look, one thing that Travis Etienne excelled at was catching the ball, right? Like catching the ball with his hands, kind of as like a receiver, to the point where, the other guy, Urban, thought about using him kind of as a gadget wide receiver, or that may be an oversimplification or too far down the road, but you know what I'm talking about. He was looking at him as kind of a jack of all trades who you could line up as a receiver. I'll never forget, I had a chance in, I guess it must have been 2020 when he was coming out, to have Jonathan Taylor on Sirius XM. And we asked him at the time, your rep is that you're not a pass catcher. He's like, man, look, they didn't throw me the ball at Wisconsin. They don't throw the ball to their backs at Wisconsin. I don't think anybody questions Jonathan Taylor's ability to be a weapon, catching the ball out of the backfield. He had a total of 42 catches in 3 years and didn't have more than 8 until his final year at Wisconsin. So sometimes guys get pigeonholed, Tony, or just the system that they're in asks them to do certain things and not others. We'll find out if Chris Rodriguez can turn into a if not a weapon, at least a competent pass catcher, man. I don't need you to run these great routes. I need you to be able to catch the little swing passes, the dump downs, the screens out of the backfield. I don't need you to split out in the formation. I think we're going to have plenty of receivers to handle that kind of stuff. More on Chris Rodriguez's relationship with Liam Cohen and his thoughts on the team overall being led by Liam going into year 2 coming up. It is Mock Draft Monday, so hit us up whether you go to Pro Football Network or PFF or any place that has a mock draft simulator. Go ahead and show us on the text line or on Twitter the results of at least the 3-round mock, so you cover the Jags' first 4 picks. You want to do the full 7, knock yourself out. We'll take a look at some of those later, and we'll unveil our most recent renditions here for Mock Draft Monday coming up. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Live streaming from the XL Digital Studios. Brightened by Harbor Dental Care, Jacksonville's first choice for dental emergencies.
In the game of vehicle performance and reliability, Atlantic Infiniti is always the top pick. This is Hayes Carlion. Did you know that every certified pre-owned Infiniti is inspected, factory backed, with a limited warranty, and gets the same championship level service as a brand new Infiniti? Every mile will feel like first class. Check out their full certified inventory now at AtlanticInfiniti.com or visit Atlantic Infiniti off Atlantic near St. John's Bluff.
Jaguars Today Monday is built by Dream Finders Homes.
Official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
You know, Mr. Chubby's Wings is giving away free beer again this year for the Madness Tournament.
Do they really give you a free pint of Budweiser for each game you pick right?
Yes, all you got to do is fill out your bracket now at 1010XL.com. Overall winner gets tickets to Welcome to Rockville on Saturday. But for free beer, just download your bracket, print it out, and bring it into any Mr. Chubby's Wings location during the games. Every game you pick right, you get a free beer.
Go to 1010XL.com now. It's the Free Beer Chubby Madness Bracket Challenge. See Mr. Chubby's Wings Facebook for full contest details. My Gate Rewards members, this deal is just for you. Right now, grab any 2 12-ounce Red Bulls and get 2 of your favorite roller grill items for just $1. When you need a boost, Gates got you. See store for details.
All right, Jacksonville, you know spring has officially arrived when the pollen's flying, the grass is growing, and your septic system starts thinking about getting your attention. Trust me, a simple pump out now can save you from a disaster that'll have the whole neighborhood holding their noses. That's why you call Duck Duck Rooter the only master septic contractor in Northeast Florida. Real pros, not somebody guessing with a shovel. Right now, schedule your spring septic clean and get $50 off septic tank pumping. So when you're stuck, call the Duck, 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Are high-interest credit cards and other loans sucking the life out of your finances? It's time to say no more. Let Loan Pronto tap the equity on your home and get the cash you need now so you can pay it all off. Hey, it's Prosser here. Corey and Jack called Loan Pronto in a matter of days. They had $160,000. They kept their 3% mortgage intact, didn't even need an appraisal, and with all that cash, they wiped out all their credit cards and 2 car loans, saving $2,000 a month. You can do it too. LoanPronto.com, the rapid equity loan program, can get you $100,000, $200,000, even $500,000 in cash. Chloe and Ethan just did it. Consolidated all their high-interest debt into one super low monthly payment, giving them an extra $1,000 a month. Imagine, pay off all the credit cards, slash your monthly payments, breathe easier. Get your life back. Interest rates are at 3-year lows. Call Loan Pronto today, 904-999-1500. That's 904-999-1500, or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
What does your dream backyard look like? The team at CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can design an outdoor kitchen layout custom built to your taste and lifestyle. You dream it, they can build it. At CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living. CSSOutdoor.com.
If your lawn took a beating this winter, listen up. Prosser here for Julington Creek Pest Control. They've just started the first of 3 rounds of premium granular fertilizer. No cheap liquid fertilizer here. Custom blended for Northeast Florida lawns. Their certified technicians apply slow-release nutrients. Rebuild your lawn thick, strong, and green over time. Plus, they protect your home from pests and termites. Call Julington Creek Pest Control today. Our family serving yours since 1984.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler with a beautiful selection of fine jewelry and certified diamonds. But we're also Jacksonville's leading buyer of gold, silver, and diamonds from the public. Gold has recently hit an all-time high at over $5,000 per ounce, and silver is over $100 per ounce. Pay bills, buy something fun. Now is the time to sell your gold and silver for cash and get top dollar, or trade it in for a new piece and get even more at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Jaguars today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, they found Banksy. If you know who Banksy is, the big mystery is over. I didn't really know who the candidates were, Tony, so it doesn't mean that much to me. It's just funny to see him look like this world famous artist who, basically a guerrilla artist who, you'd have a blank whatever wall sign, whatever, and overnight Banksy would pop up on it. They look like stencil pictures, and they'd be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars instantly, and nobody knew who he was. I wonder if that will devalue that. We found out he's just some 51-year-old dude who looks like the guy at the end of the bar at the pub. Not sure, but kind of like the mystery. But anyway, a lot of you out there going, who's Banksy? That's fine. That's fine. That's not the new nickname for Chris Rodriguez, although we'd like to see him take it to the Banksy a lot this year. Let's get more into what brought him here to Jacksonville. We heard Chris Rodriguez say he's excited to see Liam Cohen continue his upward trajectory in his coaching career. Spent that 1 year with him at Kentucky. What is his relationship like with the Jaguars head coach?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Honestly, when Liam got to Kentucky, he had to be one of my favorite coaches up until that point. Obviously I have high school coaches who I'm super close with, but when I got with Liam and my running back coach at the time, man, those guys were amazing. And I feel like that whole time, I guess you could say it was only a year, but man, it felt like a lifetime knowing that guy. Got cool with him and Miss Ashley, his wife. Man, and honestly, man, they're good people. And what I learned about Liam is he knows who you are, he knows your best self, and once you show it to him, he expects nothing less.
Liam's the guy. Right. And obviously he had a lot of success with him at Kentucky, used him. Now he wants to bring him in here to Jacksonville. Look, he's in Washington last season, so he's watching from afar everything that's happening with the Jags. Right. But they are going into year 2 now under Liam Cohen, and he was asked about his thoughts with the Jags going from year 1 to year 2.
Yeah, I mean, just clicking with those running backs, I would say, figuring out what it is that can help make us more efficient, or not even just as a running back, but as an offensive standpoint. That's a conversation that we have with the guys, and going into the season, we'll figure out what we need and how can we improve. It's going to be a competition every day with those guys. That's one thing I like to do. We like to compete. So, I feel like it's going to be a fun process.
All right, this is probably one of the most relevant questions asked of Chris Rodriguez, and he can say anything he likes about this and what he was told, but we all understand things can change. Again, point to a guy who was signed from the same team, the Washington Commanders, last year, and De'Ami Brown, who, by the way, went back with Washington. It felt like one of those Aaron Ross vacation years, right? He came in, he grabbed quick $10 million, stink, and then go back and still have a job with the team that let you go or you walked away from in the first place. But what does Chris Rodriguez feel like his role will be in the running back room?
I guess just being one of those dudes that they can call upon. If they have any questions about anything, I'm here to answer them. I know these guys were in great hands before with another veteran in the locker room, or in the room actually, and now going into Liam's second season, I know he's done well with them as well.
Yeah, that running back would be Travis Achan, who we all remember so well, all those great calls about Achan to the end zone. Achan. I feel like Travis Achan / ETN did not make it crystal clear on how he wanted to be referred to as Achan.
Never said it.
I think he did. There was during the combine process like that, he was asked about it. He's like, he said something along those lines like, oh, y'all wouldn't get it. ETN's fine. Look, Clemson put literally the capital letters E-T and N on the pronunciation guide, and so did the Jaguars.
Yep.
And so, he's like, oh, nobody called him by his right name. I'm sorry. If the Jaguars' own pronunciation guide says ETN on it, that's what I'm going to go with that, unless I'm told personally or he makes it a point, as he has obviously done, going back towards his Cajun roots there.
I said it years ago with Travis. Like, when he got here, I was like, I wish it was pronounced more Cajun.
Yeah.
Like, when I saw the name, I was like, I look at the name, I was like, that's Achan.
Well, and a lot of people
that's
think,
what I see.
Yeah, depending on where you're from, Etienne is a way to say it as well.
One of them, but ETN, I was like, what?
But,
okay.
But you figure, all right, he's been at Clemson for how many years now?
Yeah.
And this is literally how they've been pronouncing his name.
The story's hilarious.
All this time.
Like, the story he shared about it was so...
I don't have any negative towards Travis at all.
He tried to correct him early on. No one got it. So he was like, Etienne, that's fine. Right? Like, he eventually just got to that place. Like, I know you did it with Alvin Kamara. Right? Like,
I asked him.
Right, and he was like...
He said, I don't care. I'm like, bro, like it's your name. If you tell me how it's pronounced, I did a thing with Kamara at the Super Bowl a few years back, and people call you Kamara. Kamara, I think, is the more accepted one. And like Camaro, if you're thinking about a Camaro.
Yeah.
Anyway, so why don't we do it? Let's take a break here real quick. We'll come back with the last couple of thoughts from Chris Rodriguez. Then we want to get into these mock drafts for Mock Draft Monday. Jags' only outside free agent acquisition. Will he be the starter? That's kind of what I wanted to know more. Like, your role in the running back room is one thing. Yes, if they've got questions or whatever, that's fine. I want to know what you think your role is going to be on the field. Coming out of that running back room. And I think, honestly, I doubt that they promised him anything, Tony, because I don't feel like they're the type of organization that they are. I think they probably gave him an opportunity to come in and compete. And money talks to a degree, but Bajal Tutin's making less, not because he's a lesser player necessarily, but because that's the structure when you get drafted in the 4th round, and he doesn't have the opportunity to hit free agency yet. So we shall see. What else does Chris Rodriguez have to say, or did he have to say this weekend? We'll hear a few more thoughts from him. Then we'll get into our mocks for this Monday. 3 rounders, 4 picks for your Jacksonville Jaguars. If you want to get in, 641-1010 on the Key Buick GMC phone lines. This is Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today.
For the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. 1010XL. From the green flag to Glory Lane.
It's showtime.
Hold your breath and hang on tight. Sunday at Darlington, powered by the Plumbers and Pipefitters Local Union 234 on Jacksonville's voice of NASCAR. 1010XL.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyrics.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Dream Finders Homes Monday on Jaguars Today.
Hey,
Jacksonville, DDH. Dreamfinders Danny Hicken here with the scoop from Dreamfinders Homes, your National Builder of the Year. We've got first-year interest rates as low as 2.99% in homes in 20-plus communities throughout Northeast Florida. If you're house hunting, make sure your first pick Dreamfinders Homes, the proud official home builder of the PGA Tour, the Florida Gators, and your Jacksonville Jaguars. Visit dfhsalesevent.com today and tell them Dreamfinders Danny sent you.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists congratulate the 1010XL Scholar Athlete of the Week.
Jada Mincy, senior cheerleader, weightlifter, and track and field athlete at First Coast High School. She's the president of the National Honor Society and has been accepted to attend FSU.
Beat the spring cleaning rush and call our cleaning heroes at Zero Res. Hicken here. This is the perfect time to clean your air ducts as you deal with allergy season, AC efficiency, post-winter, and more. This month, take 15% off dryer vent cleaning and air duct cleaning. Clothes taking longer to dry? Built-up lint restricts airflow and increases fire risk. Professional dryer vent cleaning helps dryers run safer and more efficiently. Call Zero Res today. It's a quick service and a peace of mind. Go online at zerosjacksonville.com and tell them you want the 1010XL special.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
La playa is Spanish for the beach. If you can't remember that, the word Corona also works. Corona, La playa awaits.
I'm Frank Frangie. Life-changing is an understatement for the 180 I've seen with my daughter Amber. She's now lost over 100 pounds with Awaken 180 in just 9 months. A true 180. Not just on the scale either, in her energy, her confidence, the way she lives. And what I love about Awaken 180 is we knew it would work. It wasn't a hope. It wasn't a guess that maybe it'll work. Amber started the programming knowing this was going to be her solution. Now, you've heard stories from our hosts and clients and probably people you know personally who've reclaimed their life thanks to Awaken 180. It works for the person who needs to lose 25 pounds. It worked for Matt Hayes, who wanted to lose 40. It worked for Hacker, who's lost more than 120 pounds. And it's worked for Amber, who's well over 100. That's why I believe in it. Whatever your scale number is, call the number that will work for you. 844-346-1800 or online at awaken180weightloss.com. Once again, that number is 844-346-1800 or you can reach them online at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hicken here for Action Garage Door. Nothing more frustrating than your garage door misfiring. When it does, I call Action Garage Door. They take action. Jeff and Art and crew, Jacksonville folks, not some big out-of-town chain. Something goes wrong with your garage door, take action. Check them out, Garage Door 911, garagedoor911.com.
We love talking sports on 1010XL, and I9 Sports loves giving kids the perfect way to grow up playing the game. Spring and summer registration going on right now. Log on to i9sports.com to see all they've got to offer for kids ages 3 and up. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount. Year-round sports all across the First Coast. St. John's, Duval, and Clay. Sign up now for spring and summer. Great new locations added like Tofoy Creek High School and Westside Middle. Get your kids in the game with I9 Sports. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount at i9sports.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Jaguars today on 1010XL.
Former Jaguar found a home. Devin Duvernay signed with the Arizona Cardinals. I was surprised he wasn't better when he was healthy, when he was here. You know what I mean? It was like the league's leading punt returner when the Jags signed him?
Yeah.
Do you remember a single impact play Devin Duvernay made?
Not really.
I don't either. I mean, I'm not saying he didn't make anything. I don't have a perfect recall, but just noticed that he signed with the Cardinals over the weekend. 1 year, $2.5 million deal. It's pretty good business to be. You can make it to that level, right? You know what? Yami Brown, you showed the world you ain't all that. Here's $3 million. Come on back. Like, man. And I get it. The top guys are making 40. That's fine. $3 million, you could still probably pay the rent, is my guess.
Yeah.
All right, RJ, we're going to skip cut 8. just so you know, here we're just going to do 7 and 9. I should have told you that on the break, but I told you it now. So there you have it. What can I tell you? A couple more here from Chris Rodriguez, and we'll wrap up that portion of the show. We'll get to our Monday mock drafts, and Tony will take us around the league coming up as well. What is it about the way that Liam Cohen calls plays, in the opinion of Chris Rodriguez Jr., that sets him apart?
Man, he wants to see everybody shine. It's not all one-sided. When I was at Kentucky, like, crazy story, we were playing some like, low-level school, whatever it is. You do those little games at the beginning of the year. And, we had our quarterback who had 100 and something. We had a receiver we had 2 receivers that went for 100. And I had like 90 yards or something like that. And Liam comes up to me. He's like, hey, you're going to go inside. You're going to go in and you're going to get 100 yards. Like, you better go do it on 2 plays, or that's all you got. So first play, I think I only had 1 yard. But the second play, I ended up getting, I think, probably like a 20-yard gain. I think it's New Mexico State, maybe it was. But, man, after that, he's like, damn, appreciate that, man. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I feel like his offense is is well-rounded. He expects efficiency, and, he wants everybody to shine at the end of the day.
Yeah, look, I don't care who gets what, honestly, right? I want to win.
Mm-hmm.
I want to win football games, but don't think that within reason that attitude doesn't play well in a locker room.
No doubt.
I mean, what do we see? It was against the Jags, Tony. Remember when Roethlisberger was still playing, and Antonio Brown had a streak of games with 5 receptions going, right? Steelers were up, RJ, with Jags had like no timeouts left, and the Steelers were up by, like, I want to say 8, but it was a 1 score. It was definitely 1 possession.
Yeah, the game was done.
Game was over if they kneel down. Game's over. And they threw it to Antonio Brown to get him that catch. And it was a very safe play. It was a little
They lined
screen.
him up in the backfield.
Yeah, and they just swung him and just a little quick beep to, almost like one of those little tap passes. But it wasn't that. But, it was an overhand pass. But he did it for the sole reason to extend a player's streak. Well, most players who play for Tomlin freaking will go to the wall for that guy. And, again, within reason. Now, if Antonio Brown got hurt on that play,
sure,
we would have been killing Mike Tomlin over that stupidity, but he didn't, and, it worked out. And, so could you see an opportunity this year? Somebody's got 97 yards receiving or rushing, and Liam Cohen's like, yeah, let's dial one up to get him to a nice round figure. I don't know. I don't know how much time you have to think of that. I think when you're playing in the SEC and you're playing in New Mexico State, Tony, there's a little bit less level of pressure on the outcome of that game. That's probably well in hand, but just thought that was interesting.
Yeah, it is. And like you said, players love it when the coaches look out for them in moments like that. So it plays well in the league, too. It's not just a college thing. Doesn't have to be, that kind of thing. One more here from Rodriguez, who was also asked about why Jacksonville, right? Like, ultimately, when this whole thing played out at the end of last week, why Jacksonville, and how quickly did it get done once it got started?
Yeah, how quickly it came about. Honestly, I talked to my agent probably early in the day. What was it, 2 days ago, I guess you would say? And he's like, yo, just stay by your phone at 4 o'clock. You never know. And I'm like, all right, that's cool. And then 4:15, I was actually boarding the plane. We were flying to Virginia. And, man, my phone was blowing up at, I think, 4:10. My phone's blowing up. Agents calling me. Liam was calling me. And, it's just like it happened. It all happened so fast. Before I even touched down, my agent's like, hey, we just agreed to terms with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I'm like, all right, let's do it, man. I'm so excited. And as far as to, like, why Jacksonville, I think it's an opportunity. I feel like it was going to be the best opportunity for me. I know Liam, and he knows me, and I know the type of standard he expects, and I feel like we can get that done.
It's interesting, right? You have the legal tampering window now. So is the first contact they had in those first 10 minutes? Like, here's what we're thinking about offering you. Like, I know the Jags like to work in the shadows a little bit, right? They don't want you to know what they're thinking, or we're not going to go to the combine. We're not going to do these 30 interviews, these face-to-face, and give a list of people out to the rest of the National Football League that we are showing interest in. So I don't know. It could be something like that. But, they obviously targeted him because they went after him right away. But did they lay that groundwork between Monday and Wednesday? Kind of sounds like they jumped in with an offer there. And you had to have an idea of what Rodriguez was looking for, I would think. So maybe there was some contact with the agent, and that Chris Rodriguez, just had Liam Cohen reaching out to him, which makes sense. Anyway, he has pretty good memory. They don't have the play-by-play in here, but he had 119 against New Mexico State. So if you ripped off like a 20-yard run in the final play, that would have obviously been the one that put him over the top. These were the per-game totals that he had under Liam Cohen. Tony, he had $125 against Louisiana Monroe. All my nieces went there. He had 207, or several of them went there. He had 207 against Missouri, only 46 against Chattanooga. Probably didn't need him that much. 144 against South Carolina. Florida held him just under 100 at 99. LSU, he had 147. Didn't do anything against Georgia and Mississippi State. Kind of a lull in the middle of the year right there. Then he finished with 109, 114, 119, 121, and 107 down the stretch. Several of those SEC opponents in there. Yes, New Mexico State was looped in. So just high level of productivity. Averaged 6.1 yards a carry, and had several games against SEC competition where he went over 7 yards a pop. So let's hope he has that level of success here in Jacksonville. All right, let's come back and unveil our short 3-round mocks for Mock Draft Monday. Tony will take us around the league. Got a lot to get to here in hour number 2. If you want to be a part of it, 641-1010 on the Key Buick GMC phone lines or the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures. 1 hour in, you're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today. From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. Sometimes it's larger than life.
What do they got in there, King Kong?
1010XL. Extra large radio.
Is there anything else you want to show me?
Got a dent or a scratch that needs fixing? San Jose Collision in Mandarin offers expert auto body repair and works with all insurance. Family owned and locally trusted. San Jose Collision in Mandarin.
Jaguars Today. You're settled into a Dream Finders Homes Monday.
Make Capital Glass and Shower Doors your premier choice for top quality glass solutions. With over 40 years of expertise, their team specializes in commercial and residential projects. From elegant shower doors to modern frameless enclosures, they've got you covered. But that's not all. They also offer glass railing systems, glass wine cabinets, and much more. For unmatched quality and service, choose Capital Glass and Shower Doors. Your vision, their expertise. Visit online at capcoglass.com.
Firehouse Subs is adding a new heavy hitter to the roster, the Chicken and Cheddar Rancher. Grilled chicken, melted cheddar, crispy bacon stacked high with fresh toppings, creamy buttermilk ranch. The Chicken and Cheddar Rancher, only at Firehouse Subs.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experienced, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
This is Hayes Carlion for First Florida Credit Union. I went to the branch on 210 to get my car loan and had a fantastic experience. I got a great rate and was in and out. The online banking services are also outstanding. Depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards for 3 years running, and it's easy to see why. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
The Florida Forum welcomes world-renowned chef and humanitarian Jose Andres at the Center for Performing Arts March 31st. His impact spans the globe as founder of World Central Kitchen, Presidential Medal of Freedom recipient, and global leader using food as a force for change. All proceeds for the Florida Forum benefit the Women's Board of Wilson Children's Hospital, supporting a new outdoor play area for behavioral health services. Get your tickets now at thefloridaforum.com.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a warehouse operations manager.
Where are the forklifts?
Sold them. Too expensive. We're using scooters now.
So you expect us to move a 2-ton pallet on a scooter?
Just lean into it. Put your back into it, people.
This is a job for Sponsored Jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed Sponsored Jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Hey, it's Angela and Brian Wall. How many companies do you know in this day and age that actually want their potential customers to call their competition and get quotes from them?
That's what WonderWorld wants you to do. WonderWorld knows there are other window companies out there, but we also know those other guys. When compared to WonderWorld, they can't offer you the quality at the price that WonderWorld can.
And with WonderWorld, you get the absolute best guarantee there is in the window replacement business.
If anything goes wrong with your new WonderWorld windows, 5 years from now, 10, 15, 50, WonderWorld and I will be there to fix it for you. You get peace of mind with WonderWorld, and to top it off, WonderWorld windows increase the value of your home. So look what you get with WonderWorld. Quality windows, low price, the best guarantee in the business, energy savings, and an increase in the value of your home. A win-win for you.
Call WindowWorld today and get your free in-home estimate, or see them online at windowworldneflorida.com.
WindowWorld, simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Here's your 1010XL local sports update, sponsored by Chad and Sandy Real Estate. Jacksonville is dancing again. The Lady Dolphins snagged a 16 seed and head to Baton Rouge to face powerhouse number 2 ranked LSU in the NCAA tournament. A new pro women's hoops league is coming to Jacks. The Upshot League drew dozens to FSCJ Sunday as players battled for spots with the Jacksonville Waves and 3 other teams. That's your 1010XL local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
Right now, 76 degrees at 10:59. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Troy Green. Everything you need to know about the Jags. Jaguars Today on 1010XL.
All right, hour 2 of Jaguars Today. And this morning, we are taking a look at our latest mock drafts, or at least we will be coming up. Today's question of the day, if you'd like to weigh in, just give us a simple name on any of the feedback mechanisms on social media, the text line, or on the phones. Which Jaguar returning player will be the most improved this year? And, you know, again, you can name anybody you like. I just mentally took Caleb Branshaw off the list because he didn't play at all last year. Hard to know if his on-field would be improved from what we saw last year because we didn't see it. But I get it. Any participation is better than none. But anyway, you can weigh in on that. 641-1010 across many different platforms. Tony, why don't we, before we get to today's mock draft entries, take a look around the NFL.
Now, Gems Around the NFL, brought to you by Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacks Beach.
Houston is signing guard Evan Brown to a 1-year deal worth up to $3.5 million. Tennessee and wide receiver Calvin Ridley have agreed to a restructured deal that will keep Ridley with the Titans through the 2026 season. Philadelphia is bringing back tight end Dallas Goedert on a 1-year deal. The New York Giants are signing wide receiver Darnell Mooney to a 1-year $10 million deal. And Cleveland signed running back Jerome Ford to a 1-year deal.
I thought one thing that was interesting over the weekend, saw that Pro Football Talk reported that the Rams had explored trading for A.J. Brown, and part of the deal would have been sending away Devontae Adams, maybe in that deal, because, you know, you got Puka, who's going to be extension eligible. Is he extension eligible now?
It's got to be getting close.
Right? That had to be his 3rd year in the league. He was like a 5th-round pick. Yeah. So, you're eligible if you get selected after the 1st round to get a new contract after 3 seasons. What has he played? 3? I think he's played 3 in the NFL. 3. Okay, so he's extension eligible. and will get a big money deal. Adams due $24 million this year. Brown set to make $29 million this year. I think it's interesting, right? Because you've got Davante Adams excelled in that offense and led the league in receiving touchdowns, was a great fit. I don't feel like their offense really held them back. Now, A.J. Brown, I think, is a better deep threat than Davante Adams is, Tony. But it is interesting that, you know, as much as we hear about A.J. Brown, why isn't it working? Are his skills diminishing? Or is it just, I don't know what, does Philadelphia just not throw the ball enough to feature him? That the Rams, if this report is accurate, clearly feel like he's a better option at this point in time than Davante Adams is. Otherwise, why are you trying to upgrade a spot where you're already really good?
Yeah, who knows? You know what the rationale would be behind that kind of thing. And like you said, the what Adams has done to this point in his career, wherever he's been, like the bailout that he is when you get inside the 10-yard line where it's really hard to throw the ball, right? Like it's just so extremely difficult to throw the ball in that part of the field. And now he's been in multiple spots where teams get down to that part of the field and it's like, just find him, right? Like just find wherever he is and give him a chance to go make a play. And he's been, I mean, he might have a Hall of Fame career, like a potentially Hall of Fame career on his ability when you get down to that part of the field. It's such a special skill to have that the Rams would be willing to move off of it for A.J. Brown. That is one that you see it and you have to pause and think, okay.
I mean, A.J.'s been a hell of a player too now. Let's not kid ourselves. But, you know, we've at least, you know, you hear the term quarterback proof with certain guys, right? Well, up to a degree, right?
Yeah.
You have to have some level of competence, right? But because prior to this year, most people would have said Justin Jefferson's quarterback proof. He's going to put up big numbers regardless. Well, no. There still needs to be a certain level of competence. You look at the year split between the Raiders and the Jets in 2024. It wasn't fantastic, but it wasn't terrible. It was over 1,000 combined yards and 8 touchdowns. And, you know,
and once he got back with Rodgers, he became a touchdown scorer again.
Correct. The next, well, he scored 7 with the Jets, right? He wasn't doing anything with the Raiders at that point. And then, of course, with the Rams last year, he caught 14. I just thought it was kind of interesting that they were willing to put out a guy who was so productive for him. So if you wonder if A.J. Brown is that good, at least the Rams front office is telling you they think he is, that he is that much of a difference maker. All right, Mock Draft Monday. Let's get to it. Who wants to bat leadoff today? Why don't we let R.J. Saunders regale us with how he put together the first selection and what he thought when the options were on the board. R.J., what do you got to kick things off today?
Okay, the reason why I selected this guy and ran to the podium is because I have heard you two talk about him immensely and thought that probably he would not be here at pick 56, but PFN has him as the number 55 player in the draft. Caleb Banks from Florida.
That's interesting. I had a chance to take him and I passed him up because I wanted to see, you know, I thought that's an interesting one. I wonder, Tone, how they would, we have no idea, you know, what they know about Caleb Banks' foot situation and will that shy them away? You know, the Jags don't have, I mean, you start getting into 81, 88, 100. I hope you get a couple of starters out of there, but you can't be guaranteed. I mean, the Jags had 2 picks in that range last year. Ransaw gets hurt, so we don't know what he would have been. Milam got banged up, and he never got enough foothold to take a starting job away from anybody. So would they be willing to spend their first pick and their only pick prior to pick 81, only pick in the top 80 on a guy that currently has a broken foot? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that.
I do think their medical eval,
right. It makes Caleb Banks one of the more interesting player evaluations.
Even more than that, because I went Caleb Banks at 56 too.
Okay.
Right, like he was there. I hadn't done it yet, and part of it was I want to read it. Right, like I wanted to get more into the Caleb Banks thing, especially considering with the news last week with him coming out of the combine, right, and needing the foot surgery, and now he's going to be back on the field in June is when they expect it to happen. But 6'6", 327, 504 40 at the combine with a broken foot. Apparently, he was able to do that. The foot injury, the surgery that'll keep him off the field until June. Look, it puts it all, like it's all on basically the medical eval staff. He only played 3 games last year for the Gators, right? So there's a lot obviously going into what to do about Caleb Banks. Will be, honestly, after reading about it, he is one of the biggest boom or bust prospects in the entire draft, right? It's just the way that he's being written. He had a really good Senior Bowl week, lined up all over the place at Florida. He wasn't a 3 technique. They would play him at nose. They would play him at end. They would line him up wide 9. They put him all over the place, high motor guy, some tackling issues, the way that it's, again, everything you read about him, there's these big, big highs with Caleb Banks, and then there's these things that are lows, including the injuries, and you go,
yeah,
wow. Like, the whole thing is like you're just riding waves when you look at the Caleb Banks thing, but it's a name that obviously he hadn't been available in any of the mocks I've done to this point. And it seems like the surgery last week pushed him down on a bunch of these different boards, so maybe he would be there at 56.
And
I don't know.
I think that, give credit to the AI at Pro Football Network for having him available as a reflection of what just went down at the Combine, right? And that does make you wonder, if there's a guy the Jags might trade up for, because so many of the defensive tackles we talk about look like nose tackles, right? Where Caleb Banks looks like he gives you that 3 technique, push the pocket, if healthy and playing up to his potential.
Like, I think PFF on their big board had him at 14 or 16.
Okay, initially,
I don't know if it's moved. I haven't checked to see if it moved, but I can't remember where it was exactly. But I remember him being top 20 on their big board at one point in time, which is why, the whole time when Caleb Banks would come up, it'd be like, that'd be nice.
It's never going to happen, but is this a guy that we might trade into the first round to get? And now you get this injury news. I don't think that will be the case.
Okay, because that's the question I wanted to ask to both of you guys. Do you think that the AI or the writers at Pro Football Network have him at 56 because of the foot?
Absolutely.
Yes.
100%. It was
Drop
nowhere
down that far.
Oh, absolutely. And now,
because there were guys at better value. I will admit there were guys at better value at his position going to the 56 pick. But I saw Caleb Banks, and I've seen you guys and how you guys have talked about him and saying, like, would Jacksonville consider moving up in the draft to potentially get him? And I'm saying, well, listen, I understand that Christian Miller was there from Georgia, defensive tackle, but I'm saying, listen, Caleb Banks, it almost feels like that's a steal at 56.
Well, and it would have been.
Right.
A couple weeks ago. Right.
Been,
2 weeks ago, you'd be like, this is stupid. Why? It's kind of like, now, I was happy to see, like, Jacob Rodriguez wasn't available to me. I did a couple of mocks, wasn't available to me in either one. So let me get to my first selection. I did one, and I felt like, she's a little chunky. So I did another one. All right, I just did one more, did one extra. And I feel like I've been liberated from the Jadarian Price selection. Right? Like there aren't many running backs that you'd want to pair with Bajal Tootin that you would spend a pick in the first 3 rounds on, and I felt almost obliged when he was there in the 3rd round, even though you see a lot of projections him going earlier. So I frequently mocked a running back. I think you did as well to the Jags prior to the signing of Chris Rodriguez. Well, I'd not seen this guy available to me before.
Okay.
And I'm like, all right, you know what? Funny things happen. So, and I don't feel like this is a great position to need, but I feel like the positions the Jags will be targeting, and keep in mind, Montero Buster Brown fills a starting spot. So I'm not as interested in taking a shot on a corner myself personally. Denzel Boston, wide receiver out of Washington. I have not been on the draft a wide receiver train. Right? You got BTJ, you got Parker, you got Jacoby, you got Travis Hunter, and whatever else you add. People are like, hey, we can bring back Tim Patrick. Oh, Tim Patrick's that big-bodied, red zone target, tough contested catch guy. Here's Denzel Boston rolling in at 6'4", 212. And his superpower, they say, are his hands. Just like if it gets to his hands, he ain't going to drop it. He's going to grab it. He's got a great ability to high point, make difficult catches, can make him a go-to weapon in tight spaces. And they say he has an appealing X-receiver profile. That's your outside guy who can do it all. That's your A.J. Brown. That's your, Devontae Adams or Puka Nacua at times, or could be. I know those guys play like flankers as well. And he has impact starter potential. This felt like, you know what? I don't need to take this offensive position. This guy kind of fell in my lap. PFF has him ranked as the 31st overall player in this draft. So if you presume that the top 32 are first-round values, and we understand the whole, is he a first-rounder any given year, I just thought, man, I'm not targeting wide receiver, but I thought that guy was too good for me to pass up.
If he's the 31st prospect by PFN.
By PFF.
By BFF.
Right. So Pro Football Focus says that. Okay. Pro Football Network, I think, had him in the 40s.
Okay. Would would that scream starter to you?
It screams
like
long-term starter.
Okay, because with the 4 in which you have, which you named, I mean, that are already on the Jaguars roster.
But they don't have this. They don't have 6'4" can go and
can
make
go
the
get
tough ones.
Right.
Okay, like Brian Thomas, pretty big, speedy. We saw him between the hashes, wasn't so fantastic.
There'd be a 6'4" guy later in the draft. I'm saying, I know you can't go like as that. I'm just saying, like, if you take that as your first selection, I would like to be of the mindset that you're saying, listen, we got to kind of start this guy if we're using him as our first selection.
I'm bringing him in because the value's too good. And I wouldn't expect to get him at 56. And he does give me something that I don't have on the current wide receiver core on this roster right now.
And for a football team that I really think there's, 2 positions where there's really an open starting spot? Right. Like as you go into the draft. So there's a pretty good chance that whoever you take at 56 is not going to start.
Unless you take a linebacker, right?
Linebacker.
Defensive tackle, perhaps.
But even that's not a guarantee.
Right.
Like if they brought that, there's just not a whole lot of spots that are open in that typical kind of way.
I will say this, whoever they drafted 56 is going to get the opportunity to, show us what your own limitations are. So,
by the way, taking a glance at it, Caleb Banks is down to 32 on the PFF list.
PFF.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just checking it out. You're on the defensive tackle page. I was looking to make sure they still had, because when I saw Denzel Boston, I did this yesterday, 31 for him. So anyway, this was target of opportunity. Don't know if he's going to be available. People fall though. Why would he last that long if he's a top 35 prospect? Because people do have needs. Yeah. And you could say, take the best player, forget needs. That's not what teams do.
No.
To a degree. Now, you get late in the draft, you take a chance on a freak, whether you need him or not, sure. And I'm not saying that if you're a great team and you have all your holes filled, like if you're Seattle, they may need a running back, but if there's no running back value there, they may just take whoever the true best player on the board is because they're the defending Super Bowl champs. But guys slide every year.
Yeah.
And I don't know that Denzel Boston would be one of those guys, but it's not impossible to see in a year that's deep at receiver.
And when we were talking about the top 5s last week, and I was considering wide receiver at number 5.
Okay.
Where, that position at 5 on my list.
In terms of needs.
For the team at this point, because I don't think there's a whole lot of big glaring needs anywhere on the roster right now. But I did have it in my head, and I do have a wide receiver in the 3rd round for the Jaguars here. I did have it in my head that it's past time now for us to start looking at the kind of wide receivers that may be available, at this kind of point in the draft, because it's the position has so much value in the NFL that if it's a draft where there are a bunch of guys that can play that spot, in a draft where there's not a bunch of positions that have that kind of depth,
right,
the Jaguars are probably going to be taking a serious look at addressing the position at some point.
Look, if you could also say if there was a guy who projected to be an impact pass rusher, you take him there. If you,
Absolutely.
And that's what sold me here. It was the appealing ex-receiver profile and impact starter potential at that size, and all the stuff about the drops last year. This is not an issue for this guy. A 1.2% drop rate last year, where he had 881 yards and 11 touchdowns on 62 catches. All right, so that's our
2.0.
Our first, but bigger. I mean, Jacoby in terms of the shorthandedness,
right?
But can take more. I'm not saying he's Mike Evans, but he's more Mike Evans size. Mike Evans 6'5", I think.
Well, wasn't that kind of like the conversation as well with Trevor Lawrence, that he kind of excels also in an offense that has the 6'4", 6'5", big-bodied receiver that he can just throw it up, they can go get it.
That was
I know that was the case at Clemson,
right?
But,
because they had a bunch of those guys, and they're I think anybody would excel throwing to T. Higgins. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know, man. I think that was part of they said the same thing with Cam Newton. Cam's not accurate enough. Cam was a damn playmaker, but you look at those receiving cores he had in Carolina. He had probably some receiving cores where the shortest guy was 6'2". Right? He didn't have too many Parker Washingtons he was throwing to, but I didn't think Trevor had any problem finding Parker Washington last year, Tone. So I'm not too concerned about that aspect. All right, first selection in the books. We'll wrap up the 3-round mocks on the other side. RJ, Tony, and myself will give you the other 3 players we selected for the Jacksonville Jaguars in this week's exercise. You're listening to Jaguars Today on 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
Jaguars Today. You're at the home of the Jaguars in the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Door Studios. Superior products, exceptional service. Here's another look behind the microphone at 1010XL with Dan Hicken and Jeff Prosser.
So tired of you getting angry and yelling all the time. It's exhausting.
Mornings on 1010XL.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Sports fans, ET here, and when I need to send a floral arrangement, there's only one thought, and that's Kuhn Flowers. A simple phone call or an online order. It's always easy with Kuhn. There's a reason Kuhn Flowers been doing it for over 75 years. Online at KuhnFlowers.com.
Dreamfinders Homes Monday.
Jaguars Today.
Hey Jacksonville, this is Dr. Kevin Kaplan, proud partner and orthopedic specialist of Jacksonville. We're honored that the Jacksonville Icemen rely on our team for their sports medicine and orthopedic care. We built this practice with one mission, to raise the bar for orthopedic care right here in our hometown. Faster access, smarter treatment plans, and better results. Whether you're recovering from a sports injury or managing joint pain, we're here to help you get back in the game, stronger and pain-free. Visit osjax.com to learn more. That's osjax.com.
You know, Mr. Chubby's Wings is giving away free beer again this year for the Madness Tournament.
Do they really give you a free pint of Budweiser for each game you pick right?
Yes, all you gotta do is fill out your bracket now at 1010XL.com. Overall winner gets tickets to Welcome to Rockville on Saturday. But for free beer, just download your bracket, print it out, and bring it into any Mr. Chubby's Wings location during the games. Every game you pick right, you get a free beer.
Go to 1010XL.com now. It's the Free Beer Chubby Madness Bracket Challenge. See Mr. Chubby's Wings Facebook for full contest details.
Develop a perfect pitch with Dan, Jeff, and PGA Pros on Brunch with the Tour. Tuesday morning at 8:30. Teed up by Clearwater Irrigation on Jacksonville's Golf Station. 1010XL.
What if the next roof you put on your home was the last one? Not another replacement in 15 or 20 years, the last roof. Metlock Roofing is Florida's only manufacturer and installer of this exclusive roofing system. Engineered for strength, built for Florida weather, backed by a lifetime warranty. Imagine never needing another roof. Call 938-9933 or visit metlokroofing.com. Get your last roof today with Metlock. License number CCC 1335581.
Did you know that an annual coating inspection can extend the life of your building by years? Catching early signs like hairline cracks, fading, and moisture intrusion helps prevent costly repairs down the road and keeps your property looking its best. Our team at Performance Painting helps you stay ahead of maintenance with professional inspections and long-lasting coating solutions. Protect your building, protect your budget. Go to performance-painting.com to schedule a free inspection. Performance Painting, repair, protect, preserve.
Performance Painting!
Do you want to grow your career with a company that's committed to growing with you? Florida Home AC has aggressive plans to double their workforce, and they're looking for determined, resourceful people with initiative. Just log on to floridahomeac.com/careers to find out more.
How wide is home plate in baseball?
Southern Oak Insurance is proud to continue offering coverage statewide. Financial stability makes Southern Oak Insurance a wise choice for your homeowner's insurance needs. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
The home plate in baseball is a generous 17 inches wide, although most major league pitchers would think otherwise.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Are high-interest credit cards and other loans sucking the life out of your finances? It's time to say no more. Let Loan Pronto tap the equity on your home and get the cash you need now so you can pay it all off. Hey, it's Prosser here. Corey and Jack called Loan Pronto in a matter of days. They had $160,000. They kept their 3% mortgage intact, didn't even need an appraisal, and with all that cash, they wiped out all their credit cards and 2 car loans, saving $2,000 a month. You can do it too. LoanPronto.com, the rapid equity loan program, can get you $100,000, $200,000, even $500,000 in cash. Chloe and Ethan just did it. Consolidated all their high-interest debt into one super low monthly payment, giving them an extra $1,000 a month. Imagine, pay off all the credit cards, slash your monthly payments, breathe easier. Get your life back. Interest rates are at 3-year lows. Call Loan Pronto today, 904-999-1500. That's 904-999-1500, or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Everything you need to know about the Jaguars today on 1010XL.
Oh, man, before you know it, we'll be just a month out from the NFL draft. It'll get here quicker than ever. I feel like we've had a little nice breakup between everything. Haven't had to worry about content or anything like that. So many things going on around here. Just saw the Kansas City Chiefs apparently are acquiring Justin Fields from the Jets. 6th round pick. How the mighty have fallen. I will say, if the Jags had not been in position to get Trevor Lawrence, I would have preferred Justin Fields to the rest of those other guys. Now, would I have been right? Who knows? What would Mac Jones or Justin Fields or any of those guys have produced here in the environment that Trevor Lawrence walked into with Urban Meyer? I don't know the answer to that. I know this. I'm glad the Jags had the number 1 pick.
Yeah, we had some small group of the fan base, even here in town, that stated Fields as their preferred option, even with Trevor obviously being available to him at that point in time. Time has not been friendly to that opinion.
No.
Right? Or any of the other quarterbacks that went in that particular draft. If anyone was trying to say that they should have been ahead of Trevor Lawrence in the way that everything is played out among that draft class group. But, Fields is still kicking around.
I mean, going forward, you would, if you had to take one of them, you'd have to take Mac Jones right now. Just based on his play last year, get him in the right system. Again, does he carry a franchise? No. But could he be a stopgap 1-year starter somewhere? I think he could be. And maybe still maybe this year, depending on how hard a line the 49ers hold on compensation and the amount of teams that get interested in him. We'll see how that all plays out. Anyway, just an interesting name moving. Probably doesn't shake up the NFL landscape, but who knows? Maybe Justin Fields ends up starting for a month or so for Kansas City next year with Mahomes coming off the torn ACL. All right, so we knocked out 1 pick in our mocks. Both of you guys went Caleb Banks out of Florida. I went Denzel Boston, the Washington wide receiver. Tony, give us your next 3 selections, please.
Yeah, at 81, I went wide receiver Elijah Surratt out of Indiana. 6'2.5", 210, 118 receptions, 1787 receiving yards, 23 touchdowns, 15.1 yards per catch the last 2 years.
Is that the dude who beat Penn State with that back of the end zone grab?
Yes, at Indiana. Earned the nickname Waffle House because he is always open. The measurables won't draw him all that much attention, but the production definitely should for this guy. He has been one of the most productive wide receivers in college football the last 2 years.
Sponsorship opportunity.
Yeah. Bro, I mean, what happened to 7-Eleven? It used to be everyone was 7-Eleven. I'm always open. I'm 7-Eleven.
And the Waffle House, it even fits here in town, obviously,
it does
as
fit
well.
Here in town. All right, who else you got?
At 88, I went with Edge, Dennis Sutton out of Penn State, 6'6", 256. 4'6", 340. I chopped this one up after reading about him to probably another name of guys on the list at edge that I'm probably not going to mock to the Jags all that much. It's weird looking at his numbers. He's had 8.5 sacks the last 2 years, but they talk about him going into the league that they don't expect him to be all that much of
He doesn't have a great array of pass rush moves, right? But they do describe him as a all-out, gives you everything on every snap kind of guy.
But again, the production's there, so there's something there to that guy. And then at pick 100, I went with linebacker Kyle Lewis out of Pittsburgh. 6 foot, 220, 4'5", 340. The size will lead to questions about him, but the production, again, not a question. 182 tackles, 24 tackles for loss, 10 sacks, 6 interceptions over the last 2 seasons at Pittsburgh. He's kind of the size, again, puts him in kind of that tweener thing, right? Is he a linebacker? Is he a safety? And he got moved around a lot on the Pittsburgh defense. He was kind of a wildcat player where they would flex him in a bunch of different spots. But if you're bringing him in to be the potential future answer at that weak side linebacker spot next to Foye here for a year or two, given the kind of athleticism and production you've seen from him at this point, it makes a lot of sense to me in my mind if the weak side is where you're looking to address the linebacker position.
I will say, too, you got to be a little careful on these measurements because one guy in the mocks, I was looking at linebackers as well, and it listed him at 226. I'm like, that's small. And then as they were writing about him, his 239-pound frame, I'm like, which is it?
Yeah.
Right. I'm guessing it's more than 239.
Yeah. Like I'm pulling them all up. I always go to the draft
Double
profile
check.
thing,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's always on NFL.com, so I assume that's the number they got at the combine.
Gotcha.
Right, for these guys, but who knows?
What say you, RJ?
Okay, so I will say that I did do two mock
mocks?
drafts.
All right, me too, baby.
Yes, but I'm going with the one in which I selected Caleb Banks. But there was in my first initial one, I went offensive tackle. I don't know if Jacksonville is looking to solve that problem because you do have Walker Little. You also do have him under contract. But if they did move on from him, I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that. If that's like a good opinion or a bad opinion, to maybe go offensive line at some point during the 4 picks that we have in the 3rd round. But I went Jake Golday. I mean, we have to solve the problem with the linebacker position. And I like Ventrell Miller. It seems like you're playing a guy such as Jack Kaiser behind Foye. So I think you need a guy behind Ventrell Miller.
Or to compete with him.
Yeah, at least to compete with him as well. So Jake Golday was my pick at number 81. Derek Moore out of Michigan at 88, 3rd edge. They do say that he needs some sort of refinement just with his abilities. I think that you do have the right regime in there defensively that can help him polish and become, a much better player. I mean, I'm just not going to look over the fact that he had 10 tackles for loss and 10.5 sacks at Michigan. And then if you want to have E. Claire, then select Max Claire as your tight end at number 100. Because I'm still an individual that says, listen, hey, we're gonna need a guy who can, pass catch at the tight end position too, even if it's just to take Brenton Strange out for a spell. If he needs to, be out for, just a couple of plays because he's tired, hits the top of his helmet. You do have a guy that's in there that can also produce as well. So, unfortunately, Eli was not there from Vanderbilt. He was selected earlier. So I'm having an E. Claire with Max Claire.
My gosh, did you say if you want an E. Claire, then draft Max Claire?
I was thinking about those. Remember when you used to have to vote for class president and they tried to rhyme their name or something like that? I was trying to go that.
Okay, fair enough. Yes.
Maybe give him a sponsorship opportunity too. Maybe he turns out to be a great tight end here, and then
got a great donut shop up the road. They don't spend money with, so I'm not gonna mention
Shop Smart.
their name.
Shop S-Mart.
There we go.
All right, here's what I did. I went wide receiver with my first pick with Denzel Boston. New name for me this week, Grayson Holton, defensive tackle out of Oklahoma. It was only 293, 6'3". That smells like a 3 technique to me. A 4-star recruit coming out and has put up good sack numbers along the way. It says plays with picture-perfect leverage, and he's got a lean mass profile. In spite of his middling size and length, has a strong lower limb body, elite explosive capacity, prevent displacement. He's a good anchor guy, and he also gets a little pressure. And the final line said, underscoring his impact starter upside as a disruptive 3 tech. And I feel like in this range, Tony, we're littered with the nose tackle guys. So I was looking for a good 3 tech.
Yeah.
Big program. I went Grayson Holton there. I went with Jake Golday at 88. So I got value is what I got right there. RJ, 7 picks value right there. And, you laid it out well, why he'd be a good fit here. One of these spots is going to be a linebacker spot. And then, Tony, I went with Danny Dennis Sutton out of Penn State, your guy as well, with pick 100 right there. So you've gone over them a little bit. I tweeted out my results. So you can add yours if you like. Show us those at least 3-round mocks today for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
And what I've been trying to do, especially here in the last couple weeks, is there are guys like the Goldays and those kind of guys that are generally available in this kind of range, right? And it's not that I'm not going linebacker. It's, all right, if I don't do this, what are the other names that might be available? Right, that kind of thing. And it's why Kyle Lewis is a guy that I hadn't thought about at all at the linebacker spot out of Pittsburgh. And then I read about him, and I was like, I read it, I go, I really like this guy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's one of those where it feels like he's going to be a name that by the time we get to draft day here in 5 weeks, and they're picking at 100 if they haven't addressed linebacker yet, and Kyle Lewis is still there, I'm going to be like, come on, boys. Like, that's where I'm going to be in my head, just reading a little bit about him. And there might be multiple guys where I find that kind of name and come to appreciate it a little bit more as I'm trying to develop the list of what I think the Jags might have available to them.
The other one I did Lee Hunter at defensive tackle, Gabe Jacobs, the edge out of Illinois, Deontay Lawson, he's the linebacker out of Alabama, 226.
Yeah.
And then as you read the write-up, his 239-pound frame can take a... All right, that's a big difference.
Yeah, weak
in
side guy.
size.
I had him in, I think, my mock last week.
Okay.
And he is the guy. He's super athletic.
I had Austin Barber out of Florida as I got there because I'm thinking 3 defense, 1 offense. A lot. It doesn't have to be that way, but looking at a swing tackle type guy. Anyway, mock draft Monday continues. RJ,
want to know from you guys though. Do you think that offensive line, offensive tackle, swing tackle may be considered in one of the first 4 picks?
Without question.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Especially we don't know what ultimately will happen with Walker Little, right? Will he be here? And even if he is part of this team going into the draft, that doesn't mean that you don't take a good offensive lineman that projects as maybe a future starter because you have some right now, because those guys are always valuable. Maybe somebody gets hurt in training camp and you ship Walker Little off then, for instance. So I do think, absolutely.
The Walker Little thing getting a 4-year answer. It's a 1-year answer.
It's at most, right? So, and you've got Cole Van Lennon on a 3-year deal. You got to re-sign Anton. Absolutely. I'm giving myself some security there if the right guy is available. All right, we'll take a timeout. Let's come back and take a look at the Chad and Sandy real estate question of the day. Which player will be the most improved for the Jags on the field? A returning player that'll be the most improved, and that basically covers most of the roster with the exception of Chris Rodriguez. So we'll look at that next on 1010XL 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey for big number 1 Duval Ford. Truck time rolling on in Jacksonville, and you can take advantage all month long. You can drive home a brand new 2025 F-150 with 0 money down. No payments for 90 days, 0% interest for 60 months. That's 5 years, folks. That's right. A new F-150, 0 down, 0% for 60 months. See all those deals now at DuvalFord.com, or just swing by. They're very friendly over on Cassett Avenue, 1616 Cassett for Duval Ford. It's truck time at big number 1 Duval Ford.
Jaguars today.
From the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. When you listen to radio play-by-play, you don't just hear the game, you feel it.
This feel good. That feel good.
Get the most play-by-play on 1010XL, Jacksonville's play-by-play sports radio.
And that concludes the Joe C. Jack of all trades show. Tune in next week where I'll be installing my own French drain.
Joe, wake up, man.
Hey, John, I must have dozed off.
We finished those projects you started.
Whoa, my seamless gutters are actually seamless.
And they're connected into underground PVC drain lines.
And my sprinklers. Wow, look at that coverage.
Next time, just call me first, Joe.
I will, but I ain't singing that song.
Clearwater irrigation
and drainage too.
It's a Dreamfinders Homes Monday.
Official home builder of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The new Ackerman Cancer Center is now open in World Golf Village with state-of-the-art technology that detects cancer fast and accurately. Same-day appointments are available where faster answers meet compassionate care. AckermanCancerCenter.com.
What if every day felt like a private resort in your backyard? Premier Outdoor Inc., Jacksonville's #1 pool builder in the 2025 Best of Bold City Awards, creates entire outdoor living spaces, not just pools, custom pools, heated spas, summer kitchens, cabanas, fireplaces, screen enclosures, and more. Veteran and first responder owned, turn your backyard into an unforgettable retreat. See what you could build at PremierOutdoorInc.net. Premier Outdoor Inc., a visionary of hardscapes and aquatics.
The Brown Family YMCA in Ponte Vedra Beach is better than ever. Come experience our new renovated spaces, including an expanded wellness center with upgraded state-of-the-art equipment, recovery solutions, brand new locker rooms, and the Horsell Center for Health and Well-Being, all designed to help you feel your best. And now you can join with no joining fee. Plus, enjoy your 4th month free. There's no place like this place. And you'll love what's new. Visit the Brown Family YMCA in Ponte Vedra Beach.
In a sea of big box corporate chain jewelry stores here, Beard's Diamonds is a refreshing alternative.
I grew up in Jacksonville, and we have been shopping at Beard's for over 2 decades.
Meet Richard Skinner. Richard's journey with Beard's started when nobody could even come close on the engagement ring he wanted.
We did shop around that stone and that particular setup with different jewelers, and Beard's was able to come in significantly lower. It was a no-brainer.
Since then, he's become another voice in the word-of-mouth advertising that has made Beard's stronger than ever.
I have referred my friends and sisters and brothers, and they have all had a very, very pleasurable experience at Beard's. The selection is great. The staff is awesome. It's a well-run business that really does care about their clients and their customers.
And unlike the others at Town Center, Beard's is a locally owned family jeweler.
The fact that they're locally owned, it does give you a little bit more personal experience. They actually have a desire to better the city of Jacksonville.
Beard's Diamonds. Online at beardsdiamonds.com.
All right, Jack, so let's talk about it. Spring cleaning feels great until your drains remind you what they've been holding on to all winter. If your sink's burping, your shower's backing up, or your toilet's hesitating like it's reading a blitz, it's time to call in the pros. Call Duck Duck Rooter. During their spring drain cleaning promotion, get your drains cleaned plus a free camera inspection for just $129. Must have outside clean out, honest pricing, proven experience, no fourth quarter surprises. When you're stuck, call the Duck. That's 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Hey, it's Brent with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
I mean, just starting the week. So for us, I think the golden moment was what a hell of a weekend for sports, but it's just nice to be back at world headquarters. And really now for Jaguars today, Tony, there's no interruptions. We go heavy on the draft as maybe there'll be a free agency signing. I would think that anybody that gets signed that's going to have a chance to come in and compete is going to be one of those guys that fits in the category of Chris Rodriguez, that they don't impact the compensatory pick formula. I just don't know if there's enough out there or a compelling enough player out there. I think that kind of player, they thought there's a guy that's compelling enough to go after, that's still available, that the hell with that compensatory pick formula. It's more valuable to get this guy right now. I think they already would have approached that guy. We already would have heard something along those lines. So anyway, who was the most improved player on the Jaguars last year in 2025?
Antonio?
Antonio or Parker, maybe, for me. Although, you look at some of those offensive linemen. Is Cole Van Lannon more improved, or you just get more opportunities?
Right.
You know, ETN from one year to the next was significantly better.
Devin Lloyd.
Devin Lloyd was phenomenal, right? I mean, so they had a lot of guys take the big leap last year. Less likely to have as many this year because a lot of them have been exposed to this coaching staff. So give me your candidate for today's question today, Tony. Who do you think, based on the way they played in 2025, will be the most improved on the field for the Jaguars this year?
Yeah, I thought about it, and I got a list of, I guess you'd call it 5, but it's kind of 6.
Okay.
That I had in.
You sound like me.
Right. Serious consideration for it. It's interesting. Only 2/3 of them were on defense. That was kind of because one of them was split.
Okay.
In my head on that side. But I think if I had to pick just one, because I do think he's the most likely to still have the primary role in the backfield for this team, I'm going to say Bashal Tootin.
Okay.
Right. Because I do think he's the player that has the best opportunity to fill in for the kind of production that you got from ETN as a pass catcher. With all the different things he does, he's got the long speed. He's got all those different things that are a part of the reason why they brought him in, right, in the draft last year. So if I had to choose one, it would be Bashal Tootin.
Okay. Who you got, RJ?
Me personally, because so many people have this guy getting out of here for some reason. Brian Thomas Jr. For me, I think here's a guy that, in my opinion, I think everybody is not, exempt from having a sophomore slump. I think it's always just kind of par for the course. And I think this is a guy, I love what James Gladstone said. We want this guy here. We want this guy here long term. We believe that he's going to be a huge piece, for us offensively. I think Brian Thomas Jr. is only a matter of time where, we went from saying that this guy doesn't need to be on the team. And I don't mean us, but there are some out here in Duval that believe so, to where we're saying, oh, this was the guy that we drafted, and this was the guy that we said is going to be one of those, big superstar guys in the National Football League. I think that Jacksonville Jaguars fans just need to relax. They needed to give it time, and I think Brian Thomas Jr. is going to show that. I understand that's probably the default answer for everybody, but I feel like Brian Thomas Jr. is getting attacked here and being like a hot button topic that's completely unfair in my opinion.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's the obvious answer, at least not based on the amount of answers we've gotten this morning. I think he's a candidate for sure to do it, but a couple of things there. Like, I don't think everyone who's suggesting they might trade Brian Thomas Jr. thinks that Brian Thomas Jr. can't play anymore in the National Football League. He didn't fit great early in the season for what the Jags were asking of him. I think he will fit in. I don't know how we'll know that he's that much better. Maybe the drop percentage goes down, Tony, but he's a candidate. I'll put it that way. And secondly, you can talk about sophomore slump. You also hear players make their biggest improvement from year 1 to year 2. Hear that all the time. So, I feel like you can apply, depending on the circumstances, which one you want to apply, depending on whether you want that player to rebound or you were maybe not high on him to begin with. I think he's a good choice. I think Bajal is a good choice. I consider Trayvon Walker. But I think Trayvon's a good player. I think the one area, I think the stat number will be sacks that improves. I don't know if that makes him much of a better player. I think he'll be a healthier player, for instance. I think that Ventrell Miller is a candidate for this as well. But I don't know if I expect him to be a starter on opening day. You guys have mentioned some good ones. Wyatt Milam's probably my runner-up. I'm going to go, this is way out of left field. I'm going with Dennis Gardeck, okay? Coming in, no injury concerns, right? He's coming off a torn ACL last year. They looked at him more as a special teams guy as the season went on. They started using him as more of a pass rush threat. They signed him to a 2-year extension to bring him back. I think he's going to have a much more pronounced role from the get-go on defense this year. And right now, Tone, he is the third pass rusher on this football team, and I don't expect that number to be under 3 again this year. So I'm going with Gardeck in a little bit of an outside-the-box selection right there.
Yeah, the names I was considering: Brian Thomas Jr., Wyatt Milam, Bashal Tootin on offense.
Okay,
were the 3 that and Ventrell Miller on defense. Along with I struggle to separate them in my mind as far as who I think is going to be the breakout guy. Every time we bring up this, Strigo or Green, like I just don't know which of them to pick as the guy that. But I think one of them, if any, there is something there where one of them has an opportunity to be the breakout between the two of them. I doubt both of them can break out, but it's hard for me to tell you which one I think it will be between the two of them. But I do think that kind of the opportunity is still there to be the third or fourth guy at the edge.
Would you feel the same way if you knew, and you can't know this, but if you knew the Jags were going to take an edge in the top 100 with one of those first 4 picks?
I think one of those two guys will still be at least the fourth edge.
Okay.
Right? Like, I think one of those two guys will be at least that on the roster. I don't know, again, which way to go with that. Strigo's probably the more safe pick because he's got a little bit more size between the two of them. But even that, I don't even know which one to pick as far as who do I think they get more pass rush juice from. I don't know.
Really feel like they liked Strigo there late in the year before the injury. I really feel like they liked Strigo, and giving him more of an opportunity there.
Started a couple games.
Yeah. I think they like them both, honestly. Yeah. And maybe BJ Green just profiles more as a off the bench, pure pin your ears back, with the cliche
what you
pass
want
rusher.
with the fourth edge guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. So either way, I think there are a lot of good candidates for the Jags. We saw a lot of improved or call them breakout performances, whatever you'd like, in 2025. So I think there's still some meat on that bone, and they're going to need it because they're not getting a lot of help right now from the outside on this roster. All right, we'll take our final time out, come back, look at a few of your submissions for the most improved player for 2026 for the Jags, and we'll hand you off to XL Primetime. Coming up on 1010XL and 92.5 FM. Hey, folks, Mike Dempsey here for my friends at Dandy Foods, owned and operated by the Thompson family since way back in 1956. Now, 70-year anniversary. I've talked about Dandy's outstanding products for over a decade. Personally enjoyed them for over 30 years. It's the perfect go-to, Dandy is, when you're in a hurry and you don't want the hassle of a long wait, because you can't go wrong. You're going to get a great value compared to the drive-thru. Fast, fresh, always tasty, and the convenience. They're waiting for you in the cold case at, wait for it, convenience stores all over town. As a matter of fact, right down the street from Everbank is Talleyrand Food Mart, carrying a great selection of Dandy sandwiches. Sam and Gus are the proprietors, and, I wouldn't doubt any of the big cats might have snuck down there to grab a steakhouse burger or something after practice. You should check it out. In the meantime, you're going to find a great Dandy selection wherever you go. So if you're looking for fresh, quality products with a name go out and make yours a Dandy, and do it today.
Jaguars Today for the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios. Streaming live from the XL Digital Studios. Polished by Harbor Dental Care, the locally owned smile restoration experts.
Think your season's over? Let's turn your off-season back on. Hoops is heating up on Hard Rock Bet, Florida's only legal way to bet the NBA. So you can bet on teams, star players, and more. With games practically every day, there's always something to parlay. Roll with Hard Rock Bet all NBA season. New users get paid double winnings on your first 10 bets.
Max bet of $50 per bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Jaguars Today.
It's a Dream Finders Homes Monday.
Longer days, warmer nights, and a backyard that brings everyone together. Spring and summer in Florida means pool days, backyard barbecues, and night swims under the stars. Ticket here. For nearly 50 years, Surfside Pools have been creating the backdrops for life's best memories. From weekly service and repairs to remodels, commercial maintenance, and new pool construction, Surfside does it all. Ready to float happy? SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools. Summer starts here. License number CPC 044080.
What if the next roof you put on your home was the last one? Not another replacement in 15 or 20 years, the last roof. Metlock Roofing is Florida's only manufacturer and installer of this exclusive roofing system. Engineered for strength, built for Florida weather, backed by a lifetime warranty. Imagine never needing another roof. Call 938-9933 or visit metlokroofing.com. Get your last roof today with Metlock. License number CCC 1335581.
Kubota keeps the job site running smoothly with the #1 selling compact excavator lineup in the world. Reliable, capable, and backed by strong dealer support. Stop by today to power up your crew. Right now, bring home select Kubota excavators with 0% financing available or save up to $4,800. Now through March 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Visit Coastal Equipment in Jacksonville and McClenny to reach your North Florida Kubota Superstore. If you've ever sat in a dealership waiting room, you know the coffee's cold, the magazines are old, and your oil change takes forever. At Valvoline Instant Oil Change, it's completely different. No appointment, no waiting room. You stay in your car, and the techs get it done in 15 minutes. That's why Valvoline holds a 4.7 national rating, and Forbes named them #1 quick lube in America for customer service. Don't waste your day at a dealership. Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Quick, easy, done.
The best value for golf in Jacksonville remains Cimarron. Totally reestablished with new tee boxes, improved fairways and greens. Also a brand new restaurant with indoor and outdoor settings and live music. Join the Wild One loyalty program online at Cimarron Golf. When's the last time you played Cimarron? Cimarron Golf Club on 210, the Wild One.
Are high-interest credit cards and other loans sucking the life out of your finances? It's time to say no more. Let Loan Pronto tap the equity on your home and get the cash you need now so you can pay it all off. Hey, it's Prosser here. Corey and Jack called Loan Pronto in a matter of days. They had $160,000. They kept their 3% mortgage intact, didn't even need an appraisal, and with all that cash, they wiped out all their credit cards and 2 car loans, saving $2,000 a month. You can do it too. LoanPronto.com, the rapid equity loan program, can get you $100,000, $200,000, even $500,000 in cash. Chloe and Ethan just did it. Consolidated all their high-interest debt into one super low monthly payment, giving them an extra $1,000 a month. Imagine Pay off all the credit cards, slash your monthly payments, breathe easier. Get your life back. Interest rates are at 3-year lows. Call Loan Pronto today, 904-999-1500. That's 904-999-1500. Or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781. Visit NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Everything you need to know about the Jaguars today on 1010XL.
All right, so Tone, I believe very early in the program today, and I made a clear line of delineation. I said, beginning today, if you get your Twitter account hacked because you gave someone your password,
yes, you did,
that you're an idiot. Okay, so beginning today, how would we describe a show that doesn't know where they're broadcasting from? Just wondered, how would we describe that show? Don't know. Don't know. Leave that open for interpretation. You'll not be hearing XL Primetime until about 10 after. You'll get a bonus segment with the fellas right here because they don't know where they're broadcasting from today. You'll find out coming up in 20 minutes where they're broadcasting from today. So, do they all carpool together? Is that how that works?
I do not know.
Not sure how that works either. Anyway. Yes, RJ, you look like you want to jump in with some commentary.
Well, I mean, I think they're Mr. Chubby's.
Oh, are they?
On the west side.
Are they? Is that where they're going to be? I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah,
they didn't know. You can't expect me to
That's what
know.
I've been given. Sources tell me
Fair
that
enough.
they're at Mr. Chubby's on the west side.
Phenomenal wings. Great host during the players as well for a lot of our
come out there,
broadcasts.
show love to XO Primetime at Mr. Chubby's because XO Primetime shows hella love.
There you go.
Such as we here on Jaguars Today, the best show here on 10.
To some. Again, hope Taylor and Lauren and Tom are listening to that. Best show.
Well, Tom's probably not from the boat, but yeah.
Oh, is he on the boat?
Yeah.
Is he out all week? Is he
I
gone?
don't know if it's all. He's out for the whole week.
What's he doing?
He's
just on a boat?
A friend got a boat.
Yeah.
Like, from what I understand.
How big?
He's sailing.
How big does the boat have to be for you to spend a week on a boat?
Kismet.
I don't know.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
I think we'd all do that, right? That'd be easy peasy, life of luxury kind of thing.
Yeah.
Cruise line? Would you do a cruise line?
Yeah.
I've
Cruise
done
line.
that, yeah.
No? I don't know if I can. I did that one time before. I think I was like 10 or 11. I said never again. I got real seasick.
I'm saying like on a
Really?
cruise line, you got seasick.
Yeah.
Okay. The boat's so. I mean, it could happen, right? I would think that any like a 40-footer too small for me.
Mm-hmm.
To be a week, I'm saying to spend 7 full days out there. Now, for the right amount of financial incentive, I'd spend a lot of time. I'd get out in there in that dinghy.
Isn't it crazy how they have those boats? They look like indoor towns now. I mean, like the Carnival cruise ships or whatever.
Absolutely.
Like, it's got the full buffets, got casinos, the whole thing. I'm like, in a boat.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, they got a lot going on out there, RJ, in today's world. All right, let's take a look. What? No, I don't know. I don't know what. I didn't know.
I'm just saying, like, you're talking about, like, what would the
Not
boat
disagreeing.
need to be, in order. I'm just like, hey, those boats look like indoor
If
towns
you got
now.
queasy on a cruise liner, you probably shouldn't spend 7 days on any boat.
Right. I'm soft.
Is what I'm not saying that.
I'm
Some
also the
people
same
are.
guy who believes that, a small little fish is going to reel me into the water itself.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
right?
you did express that fear.
Going
Yeah.
fishing.
Yeah.
Monstro over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you get the river monster, that is possible. But I don't
Very,
think you're likely to get the
very
river
unlikely.
monster. All right. So here's some Jaguars that you've nominated today on social media for potentially showing the most improvement in 2026. One guy we didn't talk about as probably the most popular answer, or one of the most popular answers, is Travis Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I looked at that and I looked at, like, Travis Hunter are pretty damn good at corner, right? And the last we saw him at receiver, he had 8 catches for 100 yards and a touchdown, right? Now, granted, a lot of that came in the second half of a blowout regardless. So I think he'll be more concentrated. I mean, look, I don't think it's a bad answer. I just think, for me, Travis Hunter was already pretty good. So what he would have to do to improve his performance compared to some of these other guys would be a large degree bigger Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like Trevor Lawrence could be better. He could be better by a larger amount than you, but by the percentage compared to where he already was last year, chances are he's not going to be your most improved player this year.
Yeah, I think it'd be interesting to go back and watch in the 7 games that Hunter played last year, right? And what did the numbers on defense wind up being? As I look at the snap counts, he wound up playing 36% of the snaps on defense in the games that he played.
Okay.
Right, for the Jaguars last year. But you go look at the
What do you play? Do you have offense? What do you play on offense?
On offense.
What percent, anyway?
67%. So around twice as much.
Okay.
You know, on offense compared to defense, and we expect those numbers to more than flip, you know, going the other way this year when everything is said and done.
You would think he's a 90+% guy on defense, right?
Yeah.
95. Like,
Could be.
You don't
Yeah.
literally play every snap
Right.
necessarily.
But I look at his raw numbers statistically on the defensive side of the ball right now. He had only 15 tackles with 3 passes defensed. And I'd be curious talking to someone who is watching the tape, like going back and watching it again from when he was on the field on defense last year. Was his coverage at a point where offenses he took away the read, right? Like before the play even got to him where teams had an opportunity to throw at Hunter, did they go somewhere else because what Hunter was doing was good enough that he kind of forced it away from him, right, when he was on the field last year? I do not know what the answer to that kind of thing is, but I do look at those numbers and I say 15 tackles and just 3 passes defensed. Like, even in my mind's eye watching him, I felt like he was more impactful than that on the defensive side of the ball. So how much of it was they just didn't throw at Hunter because he was where he was supposed to be all the time? I do not know.
I don't know. I wonder, so you said 3 passes defense, playing about a third of the snaps. So if he played full time, maybe you'd say he had 10, and that's in half a season, right? Now you're talking about, you break up over 15 passes in a year?
Yeah.
That's a lot of pass breakups. So it'll be interesting to see how they do target him next year. I'm assuming this person maybe meant Travis Hunter. They went with Hunter Long. I mean, that's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
Because he's not on the roster anymore. Because he said Hunter Long just needs to stay healthy. I'm guessing he meant Travis Hunter, or maybe not. I don't know. Or it's a
whoever the other tight end's gonna
low-level
be,
troll job happening right there. I got him to say it. Okay.
Way to go.
Doesn't reflect on me. I can read. Let's see. A lot of Travis Hunter, a lot of BTJ, Basil Tootin, a lot of Wyatt Milam in here. Those are most of the ones that somebody put it this way. Scott said, with ETN gone, Basil Tootin, I hope. That'd be great. You know what? And granted, Chris Rodriguez not qualified for today's question because he wasn't on the team last year. But Chris Rodriguez, when you look at his career bests, could be that guy.
Yeah.
Right? If he earns that early down role out of the backfield.
Have you gotten any on social potentially saying Trevor Lawrence? I think maybe the question is now, like, we've seen him have great year 1s, but then can he have a year 2, like under, a head coach? And we do believe that the mind frame is going to be that with Liam Cohen being there, and we've talked about incredible, duos that we feel are going to excel come next season. We have said, Liam Cohen and Trevor Lawrence. Do we just feel that now Trevor Lawrence will now push this to a further level than he even did last year in terms of where we can say he's the most improved on the Jacksonville Jaguars?
That's a big improvement, I think, right? I mean, I expect Trevor Lawrence to be improved.
Right.
I expect him. I hope he, instead of half a season to get his sea legs. By the way, somebody said 45-foot catamaran is pretty sweet, since we're talking about sea legs right there. I'll take your word for it. And, I expect Trevor, I hope Trevor plays like 15 out of 17 games like he did in the second half of the year. He's going to have a few. He's going to probably throw for $160 a couple of times. You're going to be like, what? What happened? It happens.
They all do.
Yeah, give me 15 of those, though, and I'll be quite pleased. All right, are we taking a timeout here? Is that what we're doing? RJ does. He's giving me a wave off. I don't know if we're just going straight till 10 after, Tony. We may. I don't know.
Not sure.
I'm not sure either, and he will clue us in on that. So let me just catch up on a few that we saw on the text line today.
Yeah.
Somebody else likes Grayson Holton out of Oklahoma as well. Look, don't get too caught up in the actual particulars of the players. Yeah, we have guys, that we all like, whether it's, Jacob Rodriguez or Jake Golday or these different linebackers, but I will acquiesce to the Jaguars scouting department that they have a little bit more sense than I do when it comes to which guy's going to fit the best, what the traits are that they're looking for. We can suss out a lot of that stuff. So to me, the mock drafts have been as much about anything as identifying positions that you expect them to fill as opposed to the specific guy that is going to get filling that spot.
I would love to watch, to be able to know exactly how the Jaguars inside the building react if they ever do hear anything we say about the draft, right? Not that I expect them to, necessarily to hear us going through our mock draft on Monday to talk about these guys, because I'm sure there are times when we'll bring up a player and we'll be like, well, that's kind of interesting. And they're like, he's already done on our board. Right? Like they've already marked them off for whatever reasons, like doesn't fit us.
Yes.
But we don't know.
Yes.
Right? Like, but I'm sure that kind of stuff happens a lot.
All right. By the way, my idiocy. Hunter Long, Johnny Munt in my head. Boom, boom, boom. Hunter Long did re-sign with the Jags, obviously, 2-year deal. So thank you. So maybe they did just mean Hunter Long if he stays healthy. I don't know how you'd measure Hunter Long's improvement, his pancake block percentage. But hey, whatever. That's my bad on that one. I did the Munt-Long thing, the backup tight end mishmash in my head. One of those tight ends. What's his name? Brenton? Oh, that was not my line.
Yeah.
That was Chris Rodriguez's line. All right, let's take a time out here. We'll come back. A little bonus Jaguars today on the other side as XL Primetime gets squared away for their first broadcast of the week here on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Jaguars today from the Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors Studios of 1010XL. She's homegrown.
Your father's listening to the radio.
She's Jacksonville's sweetheart.
Well, it's a little cheesy, but...
And she's one of the boys.
Just behave, okay?
She's Lauren Brooks. Afternoons 2 to 4 on 1010XL.
Hey everybody, Jennifer Marion with Randy Marion Cadillac in Jacksonville here to say hello, and we'd sure like to have your business.
You know what? They're going to love the king of price.
My dad believes in making great deals and having a great selection in stock.
Cadillac XT4s, XT5s, and XT6s, and Escalades.
The all-electric Cadillac Lyriq.
CT4s and CT5s.
Cadillac luxury and selection is just waiting for you.
At Randy Marion Cadillac, Southside Boulevard, Jacksonville.
And don't forget, tell them Jennifer sent ya.
Dreamfinders Homes, Monday.
On Jaguars today.
Homeowners, you taking a look at your lawn yet? Let me guess. You're looking at your lawn wondering what to do after a historically cold season. Well, if you want your lawn to bounce back quick, you gotta call topdressing.com. Nobody else can do what they do. Their proprietary process. I've never seen anything like it, and neither will your neighbors. They will have your lawn looking like a golf course. Nobody else can do it. They're no secret now, so get ahead of it. Call for a free estimate. Be the envy of your neighbors. Top dress your lawn like the pros with topdressing.com.
Renewal by Anderson is kicking off their 31-day spring savings event. For a limited time, buy 2 replacement windows or doors and get the third 60% off. Plus, enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for 18 months. Our acclaimed impact windows are built for Florida, helping reduce energy costs and keeping your home comfortable all year long. Offer ends March 31st. Restrictions apply. Visit bestwindowsflorida.com to schedule your free in-home consultation. License CGC 1527613. Renewal by Anderson, where comfort meets savings.
The flagship station of the Jacksonville Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Not everyone is built for a cubicle. At Local 234, apprentices get paid to learn hands-on skills like plumbing, pipe fitting, HVAC, the stuff Jacksonville runs on. No endless lectures, no massive student debt, just hands-on training, real jobs, and real pay. This is how you level up, by doing work that actually matters. Check them out at UA234.com. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Local 234. Make the right connection.
When you hear Florida Gators baseball on 1010XL, it's brought to you by Renewal by Anderson Custom Windows and Doors, Randy Marion Cadillac of Jacksonville, and by the personal injury attorneys of Farah and Farah.
This is Frank Frangie. Over the past 11 years, the weight loss industry has seen it all. New medications, fad diets, sculpting. Yet Awaken 180 still stands alone as the proven solution for lasting weight loss. Results at awaken180weightloss.com.
Hey gang, Prosser here. Have you been thinking about selling your home and you haven't pulled the trigger? Let me tell you about Chad and Sandy and the experts that will help you make that decision. Mortgage rates have dropped. They're expected to move lower. Home sales momentum is building, so now's the time to get your home ready to maximize your sales price. It's time to call Chad and Sandy, the proven experts to sell your home. Need to sell now, need to sell fast, need max price. Check, check, check. Chad and Sandy have the science behind it. Using their proprietary Market Max system, Chad and Sandy guarantee your home sold at an agreed-upon price and deadline, or they will buy it. Jonathan writes from Mount Pleasant. The only thing standing between me and my dream of hitting the road in my RV was selling my Mount Pleasant home. After hearing Chad and Sandy on the radio, I gave them a call. The results were unreal. In just 3 days, I had multiple offers at full asking price. So can you. Call the local experts I trust and recommend. Call Chad and Sandy, 414-6200 or chadandsandy.com.
The Golf Club of Southampton is gearing up for brand new greens and a lot more, and now's your chance to save on membership before the fee increase. Take advantage of $1,000 savings if you join before the work starts in late April and before the initiation fee goes up. It's a great deal, plus $500 additionally in Pro Shop credit. Don't miss out. All the details are at golfsouthampton.com. Become a member now and save big. The course is in great shape, so head on out to the Golf Club of Southampton. Call 287-PLAY and get on the tee.
Here's your 1010XL local sports update, sponsored by 5-Star Bath Solutions. Florida has earned the top seed in the South and will face the winner of Prairie View and Lehigh on Friday in Tampa. Game will be broadcast live on 1010XL AM. Providence is back on the throne. The Stallions win the 2A state title at UNF, capping a 29-3 season and ending Jacksonville's decade-long championship drought. That's your 1010XL local sports update. I'm Sam Nelson.
Right now, 78 degrees at 12:06. Time and 10 brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Everything you need to know about the Jaguars today on 1010XL.
I do have that little syndrome. I like to call it mush brain sometimes when I'm just an idiot, you know? And so obviously the Hunter Long, Johnny Munt moment there a moment ago was one of those. And wait, Hunter Long, he's gone. No, that's Johnny Munt. He's gone. They impressed me about equal measure last year, Tony. I think
a whole lot, yeah.
I think Quentin Morris is going to be number 2. I would expect him to be.
Yeah.
Right now, based on the way things went down last year. And we'll see. You guys keep mocking a tight end of the Jags in the top 100. I have resisted to this point. I'm not saying it's impossible, particularly now as we're losing some of the obvious spots like running back where they're and corner. I think it becomes, you can always, if there's a great corner, there's never a problem taking him, I think. But there's much less of a compulsion to make sure you have to get one.
Well, I know every weekend when I'm doing the mock draft to get ready for the show today, whenever I get to where I'm on the clock and I'm looking at the tight ends that may be available, I'll click on them. And if one of the first thing they say is such a great receiving threat, like outside, I'm like, I'm done.
Right.
Like I just close it and say, then I'm not taking him. Like I just don't think that's a big priority for this team, is to find that kind of thing. I'm comfortable with if there's somebody that can give you something in the pass game, as long as they're a monster blocker.
Right, and that's part of the DNA you're going to have here, or at least be above average.
Yeah,
kind of guy.
That's what they're looking for at that position. I'm not saying that there aren't guys that are available, but everyone, when I open up the profile, they always talk about, put him in the slot, get him in space. And I'm like,
you can move him out from the formation. That's fine.
Yeah,
that's a good trait to have. I saw a couple compared to Aronde Gadsden Jr., and he's like, they're like big receivers, right? Which is fine. Those guys have a place in the league.
A bunch of teams are looking for
Absolutely.
that.
I don't know if the Jags are in that particular case, but I guess we will find out. All right. Squared away. Time to welcome in XL Primetime.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, Joe C. Joe C., are you still in the car at the moment? That's the first question that we have for you.
Yes, I am. I'm observing the speed limit, but
you are
getting from PV to Chase. Yeah, getting from PV to JV Road ain't easy, bro.
Bro, I thought my second follow-up was going to be, obviously, what is the number on the speedometer right now? Because I'm not going to blow up your spot, as they say, but I'm doubting you're going the speed limits. You know, it's all good. Joe, what? Yeah, go ahead, man.
I'm just going to say that the West Side does observe the speed limit.
This is true. This is true. They're a little tighter on the enforcement of that. Joe, what a smorgasbord of options to choose from today for prime time, right? I mean, you still got the wrap up of the first week of free agency. Chris Rodriguez speaking this weekend. You got the players, got the World Baseball Classic. You got a ton of stuff to get into today.
Yeah, it really is. Honestly, what came out of yesterday, TPC Sawgrass, I was so happy for Cameron Young, even though I did pick Matt Fitzpatrick to win. That did not go well for me.
Pick,
but
Joe.
That's
Bad
just
pick.
the way it goes. Yeah, and the bottom line is it was a USA chance all around 18 for Cameron Young, and he did everything right, man. It was a huge win for him, and so we'll obviously go back to that and talk about it real quick. And then Sean Merriman's going to join us, talk a little bit about free agency and what all went on. And then the quarterback whisperer, we'll hear from him a little bit later on. We got so much to get into.
Love it. All right, so Mr. Chubby's on Chafee Road is where you're holding court.
Yeah, it's actually Crystal Springs, so it's just off of Chafee Road.
Okay.
And so Mr. Chubby's institution when it comes to great wings and cold beer and everything else. And one of the places I'm sure Westside will be holed up when the NCAA tournament starts. But Crystal Springs Road, come on out.
All right, brother. And we love busting your chops, man. I'm so glad it wasn't me that this happened to. So drive safely, Joe. And we'll be listening for you and JJ LaSelva and the crew to handle it for the next couple hours.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
All right, brother. There you go. Yeah. He probably has a few other choice things to say to me, but that's okay, you know, because that's how we roll around these parts. All right, so there you go. XL Primetime coming your way. It just, you know, the luck of Joe. I've called Tony before, like, hey, bro, there's nothing I can do. There's a traffic jam on I-95. I cannot come any faster, but Tony would be here. Right? It just happened to be Matt and Leon are off today.
Yeah.
And Joe C was on the wrong end of town. But that's the way it all goes. All right. So XL Primetime coming up. Thanks for tuning in today. We'll come up with a nice Tuesday top 5 for you tomorrow. And we'll get back into a little bit of draft analysis midweek as well. Thanks for playing along with the question today and the mock drafts for Tony Smith and RJ Saunders. I'm Mike Dempsey. We'll talk to you tomorrow from 10 to noon or later. All right, here on 1010XL and 90.